Why did that just happen? Did I just press the wrong? Yeah, I somehow press things twice. Interesting. Hello, Travis, Sparky, and Nautilus. Sup, Queen Cheese? Oh, I should probably pull up that thing. Don't need that. Nope. Okay, there you go. I was like making sure that the cat still worked. Didn't I save what Travis sent me? I feel like that I saved what I was sent. Apparently not. Let me pull it back up. Hey, Fiona, how's it going? Fiona, did you finish Fire Emblem Three Houses, the DLC? I am le curious. Le curioso. Good job, Travis. Yeah, I figured as much. Got that. Haven't started yet. Hey, David, how's it going? Okay, so I don't have to worry about anything, according to this thing. I'm in a weird spot with this game. I'm excited to continue on, but then my brain still has the frustration. And I'm just like, bruh, but... Well, last we left off, we started Emmy's route. Emmy's best girl. Just gonna say that. So that is gonna be good. And I'm hoping to get through all of Act 2. That's the idea. But I'm only giving myself like 2.5 hours to do that. What kind of game is this? It's a dating sim, Ski. Also, how's it going, Ski? Welcome, welcome. I'm getting back into the same issue I've run into with a few other games I've streamed. But this game makes sense for why there's a lot of like, you know, protection about it and like hype for it. I'm slowly starting to just realize stuff. Anywho, like, I literally like delayed stream by a little bit, primarily because like my brain is it's done the same thing for a few games. It's why AI took a while. It's why Far Cry is still taking a while. It's why that I don't want to stream Splatoon anymore. It's this reoccurring thing. But this game, and to an extent, I'm having a brain fart. I can't think of the other game. But this game, it makes sense because of the different scenes that are in there. I know I'm being cryptic as fuck right now, but like my brain, I literally like I've been sitting here for the past like 10 minutes or so, just like, besides thinking of something my mother just told me and yelled at me about. My brain's just been like thinking of like a whole bunch of different things. I'm excited don't get me wrong, I'm excited to continue playing this game. I really want to see where the route goes. But like, brain is just thinking overdrive today. Before I begin officially, I do want to say that when it comes to this game, I want to let you guys know something about how this game is going to be streamed. I don't think I've said it in the first or second streams, and I kind of wanted to be upfront about the third stream, especially because there's a lot of games I want to finish and so on and so forth. Once we're done with the Emmy route and all subsequent like endings for that, and hopefully I can show every single one of them, and I'm relying on Travis to kind of guide me in that point once we get to after we get our first ending and so on and so forth. There's going to be a bit of a hiatus for this game, and then it's going to pick back up after a few like weeks time. Primary reason for that is kind of the idea of like starting fresh on a route, so on and so forth. And there's a few other games I do want to get to. So just kind of like, if you guys see, like, after we get all of the endings with Emmy, that you see this game go on a bit of a hiatus, don't worry, it will come back. Similar with like Catherine and Far Cry and such like that. It takes a little bit of a break, then we jump back into it. They were different, so that way there's kind of that still variety going on. Hopefully that works out well. But yeah, so that being said, let us jump back into the game. We got Morning Run. Cool. So my alarm's beeping shatters the early morning quiet, and I find myself wondering where to find the motivation to rise. Class is still quite far off, but I agreed to run with Emmy in the mornings. Gonna go, bye Fiona, have a wonderful day, take it easy, take it easy. Really, I'm not that interested in running as a hobby or even as a possible life-lengthening exercise. I cannot speak today. Just letting you guys know, I'm probably going to trip over words a lot this stream. I've been talking... I have the hiccups. Besides that, I've been talking like nonstop today, so this is going to be fun. However, I feel obligated to follow through on my promise to Emmy yesterday, which is why I find myself throwing on some running shorts and a light t-shirt. Yep, I saw that. Nautilus, she shared it with Cafe Coalition. So, good for her. Good for her. Good for her. The cool morning air caresses my face as the morning sunshine causes the dew on the grass to sparkle, nearly blinding me at first. As I make my way down to the track, an ugly thought strikes me. What if this is some sort of joke that Emmy's playing on me? Would that surprise me? Really? Hell, I'd probably do it to the new guy too. At the very least, I'm sure Emmy and Rim made a bet on whether or not I'd actually show up. I feel a sense of trepidation as the track comes into view. There are hurdles. Poorly drawn hurdles, but hurdles. You're late! It would seem that Emmy is already there. What a relief. Not according to my watch, we are both early, in fact. Damn, you got me there! Emmy is sitting on the bleachers, decked out in her running gear, waiting somewhat patiently for me. I'm glad you're here. I was afraid that this was a joke or something. Nah, I'd never make someone get up early for nothing. Plus, Bryn owes me 500 yen now. She didn't think you'd actually show up. Go figure. I knew it! Nice to know Emmy was on my side, at least. Emmy hops off the bleachers and begins stretching out. She's remarkably lithe, almost like a dancer. I set out to stretch as well, but then realized I don't exactly remember how to stretch properly. It's been ages since I stretched for anything, if you don't count my own stint at running last week. And even then, I don't think I actually stretched beforehand. The specter of my long hospital stay rises up again. I can't say I was all that active before the hospital stay, though, so maybe I'm just being morose. Emmy giggles as she watches me stretch out. No, Hisao, you gotta hold it for longer than that. I'm trying, it kinda hurts a little. Huh, that's because you're out of shape. You got to get some flexibility in you, like this. To demonstrate, Emmy reaches down and puts her head through her legs. God bless you, Emmy. I see. Is this the sort of thing I should strive for? Of course, flexibility is important for any runner. You'll be able to go faster the more you stretch out. This makes no sense to me, but Emmy seems to believe that's true. With Emmy's help, I managed to stretch myself out properly. I can't help but notice that when she thinks about how to explain things to me, her mouth scrunches up in concentration. It's adorable. Not bad, Hisao. Come on, we better start running. We'll start off with just a mile, okay? That's 4 laps around the track. Got it? That sounds fine to me. This shouldn't be too hard, right? A hazy memory of running a mile for gym class resurfaces in my mind. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Emmy sets a pretty good pace, and I fall in behind her. Trying to keep up, okay, Hisao? Roger. I should probably sit back, by the way. I'm like leaning up close to the camera. We're on the first curve without incident, so I can already feel my heart rate increasing slightly. By the second curve, I'd start to breathe through my mouth. Emmy doesn't even seem to be breaking a sweat. As if to punctuate her superiority, she turns around and starts running backwards. Are you doing okay, Hisao? Never better, coughs out a lung. I'm dying, it's okay. Oh, really? Maybe I should speed up then, Oh, no. What do you want you to? Exert yourself. I believe I am what we call dying. My heavy panting and wheezing makes the statement less convincing than I had hoped. Emily simply smiles and turns around again. You're the boss, Hisao. We stay at this pace. I get the feeling that I'm being mocked. If I weren't in terrible shape, I'd probably feel offended. By the third lap, my breath is coming in ragged gasps. I'm also awash in my own sweat. Gross. We're round the curve to start our 4th lap, and Emmy looks back at me with a grin. Here we go! She takes off at blinding speed when I'm stubbornly sticking at a slower pace. By the time I get to the first turn, she's already rounding the second. As I struggle across the back stretch, Emmy continues running and catches up to me. Come on, Hisao, you can do it! Hey, Mrs. Vian, how's it going? Welcome. I'd answer her, but I'm too focused on getting air into my lungs and ignoring the burning in my leg muscles. Part of me wants to say something like, maybe you can, but I'm about to die here. But again, I doubt I can actually form words right now. Emmy keeps pace with me as I round the second turn and cross the finish line. Her sprint seems to have gotten her sweating. It's actually caused her shirt to turn slightly translucent. It seems she's wearing a black sports bra. Well, dang. What up, Rizzolo? How's it going? I feel a vague stab of guilt for being the sort of guy who stares at a girl's chest, but my legs and chest are burning so badly I can't bring myself to care that much. Not bad for a first effort, he sound. Kind of you to say so. Emmy seems to be, if not out of breath, at least breathing a little more heavily than she was before we started running. It must have been the sprint that did it. Hey, I got to get a few sprints in. You should walk around the track to cool down. Then we can stretch out and we'll be all done, okay? Sounds great. I'm slowly dying. Somebody help me. My legs are on fire, my breathing is still heavy, but surprisingly, my heart seems to be taking the strain well. Another triumph of medical science, I suppose. You should put your hands behind your head. It makes it easier to catch your breath. Surprisingly, she's right. I begin to stroll around the track, happy to feel my breath coming back to me. There's a blur as Emmy sprints by me. Watching her run is absolutely fascinating. It's not just because she's on prosthetics, though that is interesting. The really interesting thing is the way her face changes. I can only catch a glimpse of it as she runs by, but her eyes seem to come alive with a sort of fierce joy. It's as if there's nothing else in the world but her and the track. By the time I've gotten to the final stretch, Emmy seems to have finished her sprinting. I find it super fascinating how the girl with no legs just loves running, but I feel like if you didn't have legs, all you want to do is run. Same with Rin, where the fact that she has no arms, all she wants to do is things that involve arms. I feel like it makes sense. She uses a voice changer, but for her whole face. I guess. She's breathing heavily now, but she's wearing a satisfied grin on her face. She waves to me cheerily as I near her. Feeling better, right? Actually, yeah. Do you want to take another lap around with me? I gotta cool down too, you know. Part of me would rather sit down and not move, but something tells me that it would be a bad idea. Besides, if I sit down, there may not be no getting back up again. Sure, why not? Emmy's got her hands behind her head now as well, which makes her seem very relaxed. The positioning of her arms also pulls her t-shirt upwards ever so slightly so that I can see a small strip of her belly. I do my best to act the gentleman and not look, but the contrast of her skin against her red running shorts is rather arresting. So how do you feel, Hisao? Surprisingly good, actually. I'm sore and tired, but surprisingly good. As soon as I say it, I realize that it's true. Sure, part of me wants to lay down and die, but I feel like I've accomplished something. It's almost like a glow throughout my body that persists despite the soreness. Yeah, that's the runner's high. Runner's high? Yeah, it has something to do with adrenaline? Emmy thinks for a moment as we walk, trying to remember. Then she shrugs and grins at me. I don't actually remember. It's a good feeling though, isn't it? Better than sex, right? Well, this game went from 50 to 100 real fast. I opened my mouth to respond shortly before processing what you just said. Yeah, I'd be the same way. I'd be like, what? Girl, what'd you just say? What'd you just say? What'd you just say? Dots. Emmy watches my face for a few moments before bursting into laughter. Sorry, I couldn't resist. You're just too easy. Why did I agree to run with you again? Emmy just laughs harder. She takes hold of my forearm and tilts it, allowing her to get a better view of my watch. Her face changes the moment she sees the time. Oh no, we better get a move on, Hisao. Class is in an hour and I need to shower. I should probably do that as well. I need to see the nurse too. Maybe he'll write me a note for being late. Why do you need to see the nurse? Emmy points to her prosthetics as if that would explain everything. It's important to check for irritation. You know, from sweat or friction, or anything. This girl is crazy. She's cute, but she cray-cray. Let's be real here. Normally I only go after practice, but if we're going to be doing these morning runs, then I guess you should see them twice a day. Wait, so Emmy has only started doing these runs since I showed up? If it's more convenient for you to run with me at a later time... Don't be silly, I've been meaning to start running in the morning for a while now. But if I didn't have a partner to run with, I'd be less likely to keep up a routine. It's always harder to blow off a commitment if you're going to let someone else down, you know? She'll be my running partner for the mornings. We both need to exercise, so if it all works out, don't you think? Yeah, perfect. Did it have to be me, though? Well, I guess I can't complain too much. Emmy's pretty fun to hang out with. And she's right, I do need the exercise. Doctor's orders, even. She's not wearing pants? It's apparently a running suit, Caitlin. Also, hi, Caitlin, how's it going? Emmy waves a quick goodbye to me. Right, I'm off. Come have lunch with us, okay? What is going on with it? When a cute girl is cute but insane. Listen, insane girls are the best. There's a reason I love Clover from the Zero Escape series. That's right. Clover is the best there. Yuno Gasai from Future Diary is great. Jesus, I have no, like, glasses cleaner at all, so my glasses are always foggy. Looks like she's only wearing underwear. True. I mean, you guys aren't wrong in that respect. What? Lunch, you know, the meal in the middle of the day. Come have it with us. Where? The rooftop. Rin likes it up there. When? Lunchtime. What else? That was a silly question. Yeah, but I still feel like I need to ask all three for completeness' sake. Debbie laughs and grins. I don't think I've ever seen a girl smile so much before. Not bad, Hiso. See ya! With that, she takes off like a shot for the school building. I guess she's going to see the nurse first. I hurry back to my room and hop in the shower, only to find that the water takes a while to heat up. The shock of the cold water nearly kills me. I managed to warm the water a bit and spend some quality time feeling my muscles loosen. My heart, surprisingly, feels the least bothered by the run. I suppose that's a good thing, even if it does make me feel a little bit of a wuss. I mean, at least I'd have an excuse beyond I'm out of shape if my heart were bothering me. Guess I'll have to keep this running thing up, otherwise I'm sure Emmy won't let me hear the end of it. It's only after I get out and dry myself off that I realize that I've only 10 minutes left to put my clothes on and get to class. Crap. We gonna be late! The hands of the clock finally set me free from the tedium of yet another fun-filled class. What up, Cheeselord? How's it going? Getting up from my seat proves to be more of a problem than I anticipated. My legs are killing me from the morning run. Maybe doing these with Emmy isn't such a hot idea after all. Still, the runs give me a hell of an appetite. I'm halfway down the hallway to the cafeteria when I remember that I got my lunch with me. My parents saw fit to provide me with some prepackaged stuff when I moved in, and I had a good thing too. The hallway's packed with students headed for the cafeteria. Going back is like swimming upstream, but I've got an appointment to keep on the rooftop. It takes me a moment to find the staircase leading up to the rooftop, but I'm willing to bet that Emmy and Rin aren't up there by now anyway. In fact, I think I saw Emmy among the bodies in the hallway headed for the cafeteria. I step out of the door to the roof and take a deep breath. The fresh air blowing against my face and body almost makes my legs hurt less. Maybe if I'm upside down. Part of me wants to be surprised that Rin's already up here. What's that going to accomplish? Things in the clouds? Can't you just look at them right side up? Rin rolls her eyes in something approaching exasperation. Then I want to get a new perspective. Is upside down really a new perspective? Hey, Gray, how's it going? Aha, that caught her off guard. Rin looks pensive. You have a point. Maybe sideways. As Rin lays down on the bench to look at the sky, I give up. Fortunately, Emmy chooses that moment to burst through the door carrying 2 bags. She nearly takes the door off the hinges. Sorry it took me so long. There were a ton of people in line. She drops the first bag in front of Rin and takes a seat on the bench next to her. You buy Rin's lunch for her? Sometimes, yeah. I'd have Rin buy my lunch for me in return, but I'm not sure how she'd carry it. Plus, I never buy her lunch. Well, at least Rin is pretty upfront about it. If Rin's offended by Emmy's comment, she doesn't show it. Emmy sniffs. How ungrateful of you. I'm not sure whether the two are joking with one another or if I'm witnessing the beginnings of a catfight. The two girls stare at one another for a few tense moments before breaking into smiles. Aw, they're so happy. Hey Emmy, do you think being upside down is a new perspective on some things? Didn't I already have this conversation? Emmy looks thoughtful, apparently giving the question some thoughts. After a deep and profound pause, she speaks. I have no idea. Well, at least she's as lost as I am. Hey Hisao, you coming to the track meet, right? The question comes out of the blue and catches me off guard. I don't know yet. Honestly, Hisao, after I went through all the trouble of letting you run with me in the morning, you won't even show up at my track meet? Wasn't she the one who asked me to run with her? Actually, she didn't even give me a choice in the matter. Wait, no, I didn't say that. She beams at me as if I'd just agreed to give her $1 million. So you will come after all. That's great. I didn't say that either. I'll be going too, so I'll make sure he comes, Emmy. Good idea, Rin. Maybe we can get some food or something after the meet's over. I feel like I've just been conned, but not by these two. More like by some outside force, pushing me irrevocably toward my destiny. This outside force? I wonder who that could be. Definitely not me. That was a sneeze. That was a sneeze that just happened. This fourth wall breakage. The game. Probably Bob. I don't know who this Bob is, but maybe. Or maybe I shouldn't read books that feature conspiracy theories so heavily. Otherwise, I might wind up sounding like Kenji. Still, I suppose that I've got to show up now. I don't think that I could stand against both of them being disappointed. I'd never hear the end of it. When is it again? Next week, silly. I just told you a few days ago. No, you didn't. I forgot. Well, you won't forget to come, though, will you? Of course I won't. I'll even make a note on my calendar or something. Rin nods sagely. That's probably a good idea, you know? Unless time changes its course. It can do that? Rin gives a non-committal shrug. It hasn't yet, but you never know. This time it's Emmy's who's given a shrug. I suppose it can't be helped if it happens. Not unless you're a time traveler or something. You don't actually think that could happen, do you? I don't think we do. Do we? Rin shrugs again. That seems to be her default response to everything. I suppose not, but I reserve the right to change my opinion at a moment's notice. For Rin, the statement makes a disturbing amount of sense. The fact that I realize this now frightens me a bit. I wonder if Emmy gets this feeling all the time. If she does, she's not showing it, though. Emmy merely nods. As expected. What's that supposed to mean? This time it's Emmy who shrugs. It's like she's using Rin's own weapons against her. Your response is the sort of thing I expect from you. That's all. Am I really that predictable? Emmy's smile seems to border on gloating. Nah, it's just that your unpredictability is pretty predictable. Well, that's alright then. I don't get a chance to see whether Rin is being serious or not as the bell rings. I didn't notice the lunch period slipping by at all. Hanging out with these two was far too interesting. Emmy jumps up and looks a panic on her face. Oh no, I need to stop by my room to pick up my notebook for the next class. Don't you wish you had a time machine now? True. Rin seems rather smug as she delivers this line, like she just won an argument. Emmy ignores Rin's comment. Sorry, Sal, but could you make sure our garbage gets thrown away? Travis, I was expecting 265th, but 263rd works too. I usually clean up by myself, but I've got to run. Sure, no problem then. Emmy darts away with the urgency I'm starting to expect from her. I don't bother asking Rin why she couldn't help. She always seems to be preoccupied with something else entirely as she wanders off. She's probably used to Emmy taking care of cleanup, and for some reason I doubt Emmy's ever raised the issue with her. Cleaning up for lunch doesn't take long, so I have plenty of time to toss our garbage and get to class. Misha greets me with a wave and a devious grin as I walk through the door. Did you see the cafeteria? Didn't see you in the cafeteria, Hee-chan. Yeah, I decided it was too crowded there. Misha's grin gets even wider. Oh, really? Are you sure you weren't participating in an illicit rendezvous? She's, translating for Shizune. What are you talking about? You were on the roof, right? With both Ren and Emmy, no less. You Casanova, you! We just had lunch. That's all. Misha bursts into laughter, drawing the attention of several of my classmates. You're so adorable when you blush like that, Hee-chan. She gives me a conspiratorial wink. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. There's no secret. Oh? Misha seems disappointed, then brightens up again. Time will tell. I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but blessedly her teacher comes in and the class starts. She thinks we're having the sex. Okay. Another day of class has finally dragged itself to a close. Unexpectedly, I managed to stay awake for the whole day. I'm pretty sure that counts as a miracle. My legs seem unwilling to stand up for a moment. I guess the run took a lot out of me. I head down the hallway and make my way to my room. I sit down and half-heartedly chip away at my homework for a while, feeling like a vulture picking at a particularly unsavory carcass. I know this is where it eats, but it's not sure that it shouldn't be ordering takeout instead. I don't think I could take this, but it's important to get my work done. Now, let's see. What was I supposed to be looking over again? But both, Travis, according to our buddy here, Hisao. I know it's a losing battle, but I fight it anyway. Halfway through my math homework, I put my pencil down. This isn't working. I need a distraction. Unfortunately, my options for distractions are rather slim. I'm not in the mood to read right now. Kenji is unusually out of his room at the moment, and if I go to the student council room, I'll just end up doing work for those two. And heaven only knows where everyone else is, except for... Well, I suppose that's an option. I grab my shoes and head for the track. Emmy's probably down there. True, cream cheese. Track practice is just ending as I arrive at the track. The sun's beginning to dip low in the sky. Has it really gotten that late already? What are you doing down here, Hisao? Come to spy on me, have you? I give a shrug. To be honest, I'm not sure why I'm down here. I didn't have anything better to do. I figure that's about right. At that moment, Emmy's the only person I could think of who I could visit. So I'm your last resort, am I? Nobody cool around, so I'd just go see Emmy. Is that what you thought? She actually looks angry. A chance for some teasing on my own presents itself. Actually, yes, I guess you are. Emmy pouts, widening her eyes to give the maximum amount of puppy dog resemblance. Kidding, I was kidding. So you are down here to stalk me. Wait, what? That's not what I meant. Why do I stalk you anyway? It's not like you require stalking. If you're not asleep or in class, you're down here, right? Emmy laughs at this comment. Well, you're not wrong, not all wrong, I suppose, but you forgot about eating. I do that too, you know. I nod, conceding the point. Plus, I hang out with Ren sometimes too, so really it might take some effort to stalk. What do you two do together anyway? You don't seem to have a lot in common. She puts her hands on her hips and assumes a superior air. That's what you think. I got all sorts of hidden hobbies, you know. Oh, really? Like what? Emmy puts her head to one side as if she's trying to remember what it is she does in her free time. Well, Rin and I go out shopping sometimes. Okay, I guess it makes sense. Emmy's a girl, after all, but Rin? Is Rin a girl? Rin's wearing a suit and tie, but is Rin a girl? Have we seen the female anatomy of Rin? No. Rin comes with you? What up, Supernova? How's it going? We usually swing by the art supply store. Plus, she likes this music store that sells all kinds of weird-sounding stuff. She says it helps focus her. That makes a little more sense. I see. Any other hidden hobbies? Emmy wags a finger at me. Now, why would I go and reveal all my dark secrets to you? We hardly know one another. Damn it, Travis. Rin's a human, that's true. Somehow I think that's all that Emmy has in the way of hobbies. Still, I don't think my question's been answered. Even if you do have a few hobbies, I still don't see why you hang out with Rin so much. I mean, she's kind of weird, isn't she? This comment caused Emmy to laugh loudly. Ha, that's the understatement of the year! So why? I mean, you're a lot better at conversation and stuff, so I figure you would hang out with a lot of people, but I think I've only ever seen you with Rin. Emmy seems unusually defensive. Hey, I hang out with plenty of people that aren't Rin, you just don't see me doing it because I'm not in your classes. Okay, but that still doesn't explain why you hang out with Rin. I'm not even sure what I want to know this. I guess it's because lunch was so strange. Emmy shrugs, looking at for a moment very Rin-ish. It's because we have similar outlooks. If you were to ask me the least likely answer to my question, that would be it. What do you mean? It's like... Okay, Rin paints and stuff, right? Yes. I'm not sure where this is going. Well, I run. And that's why we're similar. Painting requires hands. Rin don't have hands. I mean, runs, but she don't have legs. Makes sense. Dots. You lost me. Emmy frowns as if trying to figure out her answer. Well, maybe it's that we do things for the same reasons. Huh? You know, we follow our passions. So you're passionate about running and Rin's passionate about art. Is that it? Well, sort of. Let me think. You saw you're dumb as fuck, dude. Well, Rin explained it to me once, but I don't know much of it followed. Not surprising, I think any explanation from Rin would probably confuse anyone. She said we both chase after an extreme. Like, she's always trying to find a new way to show a particular feeling or something. And I run because of the feeling I get from it. And since we don't allow ourselves to be slowed down by anything, we make a connection based on that. What do you mean slowed down by anything? Emmy looks surprised and points to her legs. You know, because I'm a runner, and Rin's a painter even without arms. Okay. I mean, that's true, Travis. That's true. Also, Rin is apparently super smart. So we respect each other's determination. And that's why we hang out. I think. Well, I'm not sure that made any sense to me, but from Emmy's sheepish expression, she's not sure about it either. Honestly, it's not something I think about much. We just get along. I think that's what really all that matters. I suppose she's got a point there. Another question strikes me, and since I've got nothing better to do, I ask it. So what got you so into running anyway? Oh, I've been running since I was really little. My dad was a runner, and as soon as I could walk, he started teaching me how to run. It was our father-daughter thing, you know? Our own mutual hobby. A shadow crosses her face, and I'm shocked to see her looking sad. Did something happen between them? Man, I don't have a lot of time left. Sorry, but I've got to get a few more laps in before I go see the nurse. She races off around the track, hair streaming in the wind. It seems to me that she's gotten a lot faster than she was this morning. As she rounds the track, I catch a glimpse of her face. It's much the same as it was this morning, but her eyes seem to have taken on a harder edge. I guess she's right. I don't really know much about her. I watch her run for a little while and then stand up to head back into my room. Hey! She spots me leaving and waves to catch my attention. Don't forget, same time tomorrow morning, got it? Got it. I head back to my room. Homework beckons. Sounds like me in editing. I can't sleep. My body's tired, but my mind is kept awake, staring at the ceiling in the hollow darkness of my room. I grasp out desperately for a thread of thought, hoping that I can run my brain into the ground. All I can think of is how I can't think of anything. This is not productive at all. I wonder if this is a side effect of my medication, though it seems odd for it to take so long to show up. Then again, maybe I'm just not as used to my new surroundings as I like to think. I don't know, but for whatever reason, I'm awake, and I shouldn't be. This is ridiculous. Ignoring my body's stiffness, I get out of bed and look at my clock. 4 in the morning. Last time I checked, it was only 1, so maybe I slept a little. I don't know. I throw on some clothes and head out of my room. A walk might do me some good. I'm surprised at how chill the air is compared to the relative warmth of the day. I can almost see my breath as I wander the campus, waiting for the sun to come up or for me to fall asleep. At this point, either option works for me. I find myself at the track, where for the first time, Emmy's not out running. I suppose that makes sense. It's too early, even for her. The bleacher seats are cold, but at this point I welcome the sensation. The sun is starting to show its face over the horizon, and I know with an awful certainty that I'll get no more sleep tonight. The sun's steadily strengthening rays start to warm me up, and I watch the dew on the ground begin to stream slightly. My mind calms down a little. You're gonna wake up and Emmy's gonna be in your face, boy. Someone's shaking me. Hey, wake up! Huh? What? Well, huh? I guess I fell asleep after all. What are you doing out here? You're going to catch a cold or something. I rub my eyes and am confronted by Emmy, who bends over me with a worried expression. I'm still a little groggy, so my response comes out in a mumble. Couldn't sleep. Watch the sun come up. Sounds like something Ren would say. I shrug, feeling the stiffness that comes with sleeping on a bench for a few hours. Is it? I want to know. Emmy grins a little at my somewhat cranky response. Couldn't sleep, eh? Obviously we need to run you harder today. Even though I only have known her for about a week, this seems a very Emmy-ish response to the problem. True. Hey, my body was plenty exhausted after yesterday. My mind was just racing, that's all. I don't see a difference. If you run hard enough, your brain will get tired too. I'm seriously questioning the wisdom of doing this first thing in the morning. I don't know if my grades will be able to handle me tiring my brain out like that. Emmy pulls me up from the bleachers with surprising strength for someone her size. Now come on, Hisao, we got work to do. I don't actually know if I'm up to this today, to be honest. I mean, I obviously didn't get much sleep. What sleep I got was on the bleachers. Oh no, should I really be running? Emmy glares at me. Good heavens. What are you talking about? Of course you should be running. How else do you expect to work out the kinks? You've been sleeping on the bleachers, for heaven's sake. And the best way to get that soreness out is to run around a little. Now stop hiding in the bleachers and get down here. There's no arguing that. I'm pretty sure she'd kill me if I didn't do as she said. I get to my feet and hop down to the track. The sun is warming things up rather nicely, I think. Emmy and I begin to stretch out, and I find myself once again hard-pressed not to stare. If this is how I have to wake up every day, I might be able to get used to this. You know, Hisao, it's not polite to stare. I wasn't staring, I swear. Emmy raises an eyebrow and considers me for a moment, as if evaluating my response. There is a brief moment where I'm afraid for my life. Where were we staring? Were we staring at her butt, at her chest, at her face, at her eyes, at her other eyes, at her third eyes? I have no idea. I would stare at her gorgeous green eyes. She's got some great eyes. Green Eyes. Green Eyes is a great song by Coldplay, too. All valid points. But then she smiles and laughs, shaking her head slowly. Honestly, you didn't have to deny it so strenuously. In response, I clap my hands together and go for a change of subject. So, that's enough stretching, right? Emmy gives a casual shrug. Do you feel stretch? That's really how you tell. Well, I do feel up to the run, if that's what she means. Yeah, I feel ready to go. Same as yesterday, okay? Travis missed the joke. We'll just run for a mile at a steady pace. Don't worry about going really fast, just worry about keeping pace. Got it? You're the boss. Emmy grins again and we take off around the track. Dots. More dots. I think I'm going to die. We're not even done with the first lap and my legs are on fire. My breath is coming in ragged gasps, and I can feel sweat pouring down my brow. We've only just now run to the second turn. Come on, Hisao, you got 3 more laps to go. Good job, Travis. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I think I might hurl. Somehow we're on the second lap. Emmy's not even sweating. How does she do this so effortlessly? For some reason, I'm still moving. She's like a machine. The third lap. What happened to the second? Almost there, Hisao. Liar, we've got another 2. Nothing to be done. I can't do this. Emmy rolls around and begins running backwards. Her face gives a mask of anger that surprises me.
Never say that. If you say that, you've already lost. Keep moving. If you're alive, you can keep moving, damn it.
Whoa, language. And we're off in the 4th lap now. She really seems to want me to keep going. Legs move. Move, move. They feel so sluggish. I'm in mud, or molasses, or tar. I can't go on. I'll go on.
Final stretch, Hisao. Give it all you got.
I pump my legs as fast as they'll go. They keep refusing to obey my commands. Somehow I keep moving. Somehow I finish.
That's it, Hisao. I knew you had it in you.
The anger Emmy showed a lap ago is gone, replaced with pride. She's positively radiant, like she just won the gold medal or something. Hey, Benny, welcome to stream. How's it going? I stagger to a stop and fall to my hands and knees, gasping for air. My heart is pounding far harder than it has in a long time. I don't think it's done this since... Oh god. Please slow down, heart. Just slow down. Stop racing. I cough and for some reason feel a grin crossing my face. So this is how I die, huh? Trying to stay healthy? How ironic. I'm all ready to give up right there. But then I feel my heart slow down. 2 hands grab under my arms and tug upwards. Feel a bit sick? That's not good. Well, please make sure you get rest. I look up and see Emmy standing over me with a mixture of delight and worry.
On your feet! Come on, you'll never catch your breath that way.
Somehow I manage to stand. I try to raise my arms above my head, but they feel like lead. I start to walk around the track while Emmy keeps close to me, like she's afraid I'll fall over or something. She may not be far off. I feel terrible and say so. Emmy laughs. Hey, Teddy, how's it going? Welcome, welcome.
But you finished, didn't you?
You said you couldn't, but you did. Isn't that worth it? I'm not sure. I don't really have the breath to say so. But that small grin I felt on my face earlier hasn't left. So what if my heart's weak? I still survived this morning. Maybe I'll survive tomorrow too. As soon as it becomes apparent that I'm going to suddenly keel over, Emmy takes off for her sprints. I don't know how the hell she can manage to sprint after running a mile, but I guess she's in much better shape than me. Once again, as I walk around the track, I can't help watching Emmy sprint. It's weird, but she's like a different person when she's pushing herself. Last time I noticed her eyes, but this time it's her mouth that catches my attention. She's not wearing her normal grin. She's still smiling, but there's a tightness to it. It's almost grim, like she's fighting a losing battle but doesn't care. She seems to be running harder like she did yesterday. Sweat has started to pour down her face, but she keeps going. Her mouth finally opens as she can no longer get enough air through her nose. As she passes me once more, her legs pumping, arms swinging in time, and her lips slightly parted, she looks beautiful. We're falling in love, guys! We're falling in love! It is really good, Benny. True. After we've both taken some laps around the track to cool down, Emmy changes back to her usual self. The transformation I saw in her is gone.
Not bad today, Hisao.
There's almost admiration in her voice. What do you mean? I would have stopped if you hadn't yelled at me. Emmy colors a little, seemingly embarrassed about her outburst.
Sorry about that. I just can't stand to see people give up.
Can you feel the love tonight? But we ain't fucking now. Anyway.
Especially about something like this. Saying it can't go on is silly when you're obviously going on whilst you're saying it. That's what this is all about.
What's saying silly things?
Emmy sticks her tongue out at me. Idiot, I mean that you're alive.
Showing I'm alive, huh? I don't know if it had to be this so painful. But it does feel pretty good, despite that.
Besides, this is one of the hardest days.
What do you mean? Whenever you start a workout, it's difficult the first day, really hard the second day, and the third day is easier. Kids ever PG? True! You'll still get days that are really hard, but they'll pop up less and less. So this will eventually get really easy, huh?
Yeah, of course.
But then you have to increase the difficulty, you'll never get ahead. You'll just get complacent and you lose the sense of accomplishment. So I have to run more than just 4 laps, huh?
Yep, but not for a while. You have to be careful, you know?
A thought strikes Emmy and her face lights up.
Got it?
Got it, what?
You can come with me to see the nurse. That way you won't fall over dead or anything.
How charming. When?
Right now, of course. You'll need a shower and everything, right? We don't have much time then.
Grabbing my hand, she's off, pulling me along with her.
Wrong hand!
Sorry, what? My goodness, you're in a hurry today, aren't you, Emmy? I had no idea how we got to the nurse's office so fast, but here we are. The nurse grins at Emmy and seems to completely ignore me. You got plenty of time to take a shower and get to class, you know. There's no need to run through the hallways like that. I could hear you coming a mile away. Somehow it doesn't seem like he's actually scolding Emmy at all. It's like this is a sort of routine between the two of them. Emmy does a passable imitation of remorse. I'm sorry, I won't ever do it again. The nurse and Emmy both laugh at some private joke. Suddenly, it seems that he notices me. Ah, hello, Hisao. What brings you here? Well, I can't. Hisao's official joined me on my morning runs. Oh my gosh, Teddy. Also, what up, honey? How's it going? I start to explain, but Emmy cuts me off. I thought we might need to visit you so that he doesn't die or anything. The nurse raises an eyebrow in mock horror. Yes, that would certainly put me out of a job fast, wouldn't it? Well then, Hisao, let's have a look at you. Why does it look like he's wearing no pants? Who? Who's not wearing pants? Who's he? That guy's wearing pants. I'm wearing pants. Our person's wearing pants. Are we talking about the girl? The girl's a she. Lift up your shirt, would you? I'm suddenly very conscious of the fact that Emmy's in the room with me and blush in spite of myself. The girl, gotcha. Track uniform. The nurse seems to sense my discomfort, but it only seems to amuse him. A bit shy, are we? He makes an apologetic bow to Emmy. Sorry, Emmy. I tried to get you a free show, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Emmy stiffens slightly and fires a look of annoyance at him. You're an asshole. Emmy bows to me apologetically. I'll wait outside, okay, Hisao? I begin to stammer that it's not really a big deal, so she doesn't have to leave, but she's already out the door, and the nurse is laughing as he watches her go. Still got it. I don't follow. He laughs again like he's in on some joke that's over my head. I can still get her flustered. It's a competition of sorts we've had going on for a while now. I guess so, Benny. That sounds incredibly sinister to me, and it seems as if the nurse realizes that too. That sounded a lot worse than it actually is, come to think of it. I wasn't gonna say anything. No, you're right. I should fill you in so that way you don't get the wrong idea. I'm actually relatively new here, you see. I got hired on the same year Emmy started going here. Before that, I worked with Emmy during her initial rehab following her accident. Her accident? Hold on, what? We had to amputate her legs after a really nasty car wreck. It nearly killed her and succeeded. He shuts up abruptly and blink at receiving this unexpected piece of news. Thanks, Benny. That's, concerning, though. So Emmy was in a car accident and lost both of her legs. Well, that's not my place to say. Anyway, we've known each other for quite a while, so we have a slightly more familiar relationship than is strictly professional. Car accidents suck. But losing both of your legs in just a terrible car accident, though, is... After spending 3 years taking calls about all sorts of different car accidents and hearing about terrible things that happen in them, you feel like it wouldn't faze me anymore. Also, what up, Cassie? Welcome. He seems embarrassed, like he's done something stupid. I guess he's really worried about that. I wave a hand to let him know it's not a big deal. Don't worry, sir. I promise I'm going to be discreet. I've been wondering about what caused Emmy to lose her legs, and that was one of the scenarios I thought of. There are only so many ways that could have happened, but actually hearing about the facts, it's still a little shocking. Where's Bunny? Well, thanks. You're a good kid, Hisao. And I can see why Emmy became friends with you. She's quite indomitable, you know. What do you mean? You didn't see her learning to walk? She'd go for so much longer than the others in the hospital. She refused to quit. It normally takes years to get to a point where you can even think about running again. Emmy did it all in about a year. He almost seems proud of her, like a father who watches his daughter win a competition or something. Hell, she'd probably have done it faster if not for the fact that we wouldn't let her. Wouldn't let her? Why not? Because she'd go for so long that her legs would start bleeding when they met her prosthetics. Or where they met her prosthetics. So she used to run on the stumps. She used to run on her stumps, not prosthetics. Either that or she just runs so much with her prosthetics. Also, I'm guessing because she was feeling sad when we brought up her father, I'm guessing her father died in the car accident. It's a real concern. It's why she comes by every day after she runs. To say nothing of the risk of infection in her if her legs get cut up and her prosthetics are dirty. But enough of that. If we don't get you on your way soon, Emmy will think we're up to something. As he says that, he gives a wink and begins checking my heartbeat. The stethoscope is way too cold. He really should have heated it up or something before he used it. Nah, Punny, it's just, it's an unusual sight to think about. After a few moments, he leans back satisfied. Well, you sound pretty good to me, Hisao. You didn't have any chest pains while you were running, did you? No, not really. I had some trouble catching my breath, though, and my heart was racing by the end, too. The nurse frowns as I say this, but then shrugs. It's probably just because you're out of shape, but if you don't improve, then you should let me know, okay? Sounds good, Cassie. Don't push yourself too much, and of course, if you have any chest pains, come to me immediately, right? I put my shirt back on, and the nurse leans out to the doorway to call in Emmy. What took you so long? Now I'm going to be late. The nurse gives me a significant look. I was just seducing Hisao, that's all. That's not... Cheese Lord, that's not Emmy who said that. That's the nurse. That's the nurse. There's no reason to hate Emmy. Emmy is the good person here. What? Come on. Come on. What have I told you about seducing my friends? I expected Emmy to be shocked by this, but instead she seems merely annoyed, scolding the nurse as if he were a child stealing cookies. Meanwhile, I try hard not to blush at the nurse's innuendo. I'll try not to do it again, though I fear young Hisao may be lost to the female gender forever. Not freaking likely. Well then. I didn't mean to say that out loud, but both the nurse and Emmy regarded me for a moment before bursting into laughter again. Well, dang. We swing both ways. Told you it was funny, didn't I? Huh, I guess Emmy does talk to the nurse about a lot of stuff. Well, Hisao, you should probably get moving. You still need a shower before class starts, don't you? Crap, he's got a point. It looks like I've only got half an hour. Thank you for your time. I'll see you later, Emmy. I dash out of the room as the nurse begins to remove Emmy's prosthetics. As I head down the hallway, I can just barely hear his voice drifting after me. Emmy, you've got to be more careful. I make it back to my room and shower in record time. It occurs to me that I've already been up for 4 hours, and class hasn't even started yet. This is going to be a really, really long day. It'll be fine, Sparky. It'll be fine. I hope I don't fall asleep in class. Technically, we've already been... did we just fall asleep somewhere? I don't even know. The morning sunlight streaming through my window wakes me up instead of my alarm, and I realize that it must be Sunday. Emmy has kindly deigned me to give weekends off for morning runs. I don't actually know if I woke up at all yesterday, or if I just slept through the entire day. My legs groan in protest as I lever myself out of bed. All this running is really taking it out of me. Still, I can't deny that Emmy wasn't lying to me. It has gotten a little easier. I'd been worried that my runs would start to wear on my nerves, but thus far I haven't minded them that much. Well, it's only been a week. I suppose there's plenty of time for me to start dreading the sound of my alarm in the morning. Not that I can ever skip out now. As Emmy said, it's harder to stop a routine when there's another person. And frankly, I don't think I'm equipped to deal with a disappointed Emmy. She'd probably give me those puppy dog eyes and I'd feel terrible about myself. Which reminds me, wasn't I supposed to be somewhere today? Hey, you're coming to my track meet on Sunday, right? What am I talking about? Of course you are. That's the wrong button. That's the wrong button still. Right? Those puppy dog eyes again. Of course I'm going. I owe you, right? Exactly, so don't forget, okay? True coochies. Crap, Emmy's track meet. I better get a move on if I don't want to miss her running, since she's the only reason I'm ever considering going. Otherwise, it would defeat the whole purpose of going. I soon found myself quite suddenly surrounded by a crowd of people, all turning out to see our track team complete with another school like this one. I'll admit, it's almost comforting to know we're not the only school like this. After you see that there could be two schools with a bunch of defective kids, well, you stop feeling so defective. You also start feeling unique, which in most cases would be a bad thing, but in this case it sure as hell isn't. That's part of Yamaku's appeal, I guess. Learn that you're not unique. Hell, learn that there's a lot of others who would kill to be saddled with your problem instead of whatever they're dealing with. Some of the kids here aren't here because they're missing a leg or they have a heart condition. Some of them might be here because they're as good as dead in 2, maybe 3 years if they're lucky, and that's only if they get the right sort of care. It's a bitter sort of comfort to be able to say, well, at least I've got a chance of being alive through college, but there is. I brought out my rather morbid musings by the appearance of Rin near the entrance to the bleachers. And you came. And of course, I said I would, didn't I? That doesn't necessarily imply that you had to follow through. Lots of people say things, don't mean them. Well, I don't. Rin shrugs, seemingly bored with our conversation. She turns on her heel and heads back towards the stands. I owe Remy money now. Why's that? I didn't think he'd show up. And he did. So I owe her 500 yen. You two bet an awful lot, don't you? Another shrug from my armless companion. I don't think so. We enter the bleachers and Rin nods upwards. Up there. I came out to see if you'd come. For the bet, I presume. Rin leads the way, and soon we've settled down on an almost empty bench. There's an older woman sitting next to Rin. Someone's mother, I assume. She's got rather long hair done up in a braid. On seeing Rin, she gives her an oddly familiar seeming grin. Well, this is surprising. I thought you went to get out a snack, not a boy. Huh? A snack? I wondered why I was down there. The woman laughs, again in a way that seems familiar. Where have I seen her before? Well, I suppose you've been wanting to go out for one thing and bring back another. But I'm being rude, I haven't introduced myself. I'm Maiko Ibarazaki, Emmy's mother. Oh, so you're Emmy's mom. Greetings. Looks like I have a bowl. Leave that or my screen's dirty. Nope, you have them all, according to my other screen. So she knows Rin. Nice. Pleased to meet you. Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, and better endowed Emmy. Apart from her hair being a darker shade than Emmy's, there's really no mistaking the resemblance. What up, fighter? Sorry, I'm Hisao Nakai. And really, you don't have to apologize for not introducing yourself, Mrs. Ibarazaki. That's really Rin's job in this situation, isn't it? Another laugh from Emmy's mother. I take it you've not known Rin for that long, then. It's best not to expect her to remember something like that. She's got other things to think about, I assume. Rin nods, seemingly pleased by this assessment. She's right. I was thinking about sunsets. You see, it's really up to us to make introductions and the like. For lack of any better response, I nod. Mrs. Ibarazaki leans back a little on her seat and raises an eyebrow. So how long have you and Ren been dating? Subfinal. 0 times. We're trying to date Emmy. My response consists of silence as my brain suddenly lurches into gear. But just before I could begin to utter a hastily babbling explanation, Emmy's mother bursts into laughter again. Ha! You're a blusher, aren't you? I don't know if there's any way to keep my dignity in this situation, so I settle for a mumbled response. Maybe. So this must be a new romance then, mustn't it? Wait, that's not the question that... Another laugh. I know, but it's funny to watch you squirm. I'm sorry, forgive an old woman her amusements. Old woman? She sure doesn't look that old to me. Clearly, Emmy gets her useful features from her mother. I suppose I can let it go. How kind of you. And it's starting. I direct my attention to the track where they're preparing for the first sprint. So Ren with her prosthetics, girl with one arm. Everyone else seems to have all their body parts. Maybe. Does everyone have their body parts? I guess they do. It looks like the 400 meter dash. My eyes scan the runners before finding Emmy. She's smiling with an almost cocky look on her face. A starter raises his pistol, and someone dies. Emmy explodes off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. It's amazing. Even as the other sprinters converge on the lanes closest to the inside line, Emmy surges to the front of the pack. By the time she rounds the final turn, some of the other runners have caught up with her. Their efforts come to naught, though, since the final burst of speed from Emmy leaves them all at least half a second behind. Mrs. Ibarasaki whoops and shouts, applauding wildly and generally looking like any other parent cheering on their child. Emmy bounds off the track, looking pleased with herself. I cheer right along with the rest of them. The announcer, sounding suspiciously like Misha, gleefully gives the results. I think she's gotten faster since the last time. High five! That was incredible. Mrs. Ibarasaki grins proudly. Emmy's a heck of a runner. We fall silent as the next event is being prepared. I'm surprised to see Emmy striding out onto the track again. Wait, didn't she just run? Emmy's mother nods. Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emmy can handle it. From the looks of things, she's right. Emmy doesn't appear to be tired, as if she hadn't run the previous event at all. No, it's elbow taps. Come on, Travis, get with the program here. If not for the sweat visible on her shirt, you never know. Which event is this? Nice final, nice. It's a 200-meter dash. She'll do this one, the 100-meter, and the relay. I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, somebody else dies, and once again, Emmy flies off the block. A thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She seems completely absorbed in the race. Emmy's mother cheers again, and I assume that the race is over. Sprints don't seem to be like they take very long to complete. Your foot. Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers. Oh, you seem pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. Rin looks at me quizzically. Why wouldn't I be? No reason. I just thought stuff like sports wouldn't interest you. I suppose you're right. It's not that interesting. But I'm watching Emmy, not the sport. I don't follow. Emmy's the most Emmy when she runs. You don't get to see Emmy at her Emmyest very often. Okay. But here, you can, see? She directs my attention toward the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. I watch Emmy closely. As she gets onto the starter blocks, her whole body seems to relax, but it's a false relaxation. I can see that she's actually like a coiled spring. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up and her eyes narrow slightly. Her mouth curls upward in what could be a grin and could be a growl. The last place person dies again while the pistol goes off, as if she's been unleashed from a cage, like she was always moving at this blinding speed, but we couldn't see it happening until the starter pistols dispel the illusion of motionlessness. It's all over in a few seconds, but in those few seconds I feel like I just witnessed something very personal for Emmy. As soon as she crossed the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by her normal grin. The conquering general returning to his farm. Amazing. She's really amazing. I've never seen anyone move that fast. Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think Emmy's prowess all came from her father's side. At the mention of Emmy's father, Mrs. Ibarasaki looks wistful, almost sad. Her father definitely died in that car crash. He got her into running, you know. Yeah, she told me. I'm uncertain as to whether or not it would be rude of me to ask about after Emmy's father. But after that look on her face a few days ago, I feel compelled to ask. Where is her father now, if I might ask? Dead. Emmy's mother hesitates, clearly not willing to answer the question, but at the same time not wishing to appear rude. He isn't around anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. Emmy just seemed a little sad when she mentioned him earlier. That's not surprising, considering... They were very close. I see. A beeping noise suddenly emanates from Mrs. Ibarazaki's pocket. Reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages... What is he, 16? Oh, nothing. I've got to meet up with a friend of mine. Will you tell me I'm very proud of her, that I call her later tonight? Of course. Now we're stuck with Rin. I'll admit that I zone out after a while. I almost don't notice that the relay is about to begin, but when I look, I can't find Emmy. I thought that Emmy would be running the relay. She runs anchor, so she won't be running for a while yet. Ah. Did you see it? Huh. Emmy at her Emmyest. Maybe? Maybe this time. The race begins and I cheer Emmy's teammates along as they pass the baton. Finally, I see Emmy sprinting onto the track to take the final handoff, with the same girls as before. Once again, I'm taken back about how graceful she looks when she runs. It really is beautiful. The look of determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Emmy at her emmiest, I suppose. But then, as she crosses the finish line, I see her stumble slightly. It's only barely, but it's a definite stumble. Rin inhales sharply and actually looks concerned for a second. Oh, Emmy. Did she hurt herself, do you think? He noticed it too? It must be bad. She frowns as if deciding on the next course of action. Wow, she actually looks concerned. Eventually that proves to be too tiresome, and she shrugs again. Well, let's go down. Gotta crown the victor. See if we can find a laurel branch. It's not going to be easy. Rin shrugs. At least we tried. Well, we didn't really try all that hard. True. Or at all, but hey, whatever. Emmy is surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. Rin seems to be waiting for Emmy to notice that she's arrived. Oh yeah, I guess she can't really exactly wave Emmy over. Then again, I'm not sure that Rin would do such a thing even if she had arms. It doesn't seem her style to draw attention to herself, or to emote beyond shrugging. Either way, I'm not willing to wait, so I wave to Emmy, who looks up and grins happily at me, or us. Hey, you showed up! Guess Rin owes me money, huh? We would have brought you a crown of laurels, but he saw I didn't find one. Hey, neither did you. It wasn't my job to look. When did we assign jobs? When I said see if you could find a laurel branch. Try to keep up. I shrug. Guess Rin's rubbing off on me. Seems it's my fault after all, Emmy. Emmy laughs at Rin and me. It's okay. I'm sure they'll make it up to me somehow. Sure. Good. So how do I look? I stop myself from blurting out beautiful or amazing and settle for the substantially safer, very impressive. You say beautiful. You tell her she looks beautiful. Motherfucker, you tell her! Emmy seems pleased with this assessment. I don't mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I figure she knows that already. Besides, it seems like it would take away from her efforts somehow. Great to hear! I was worried that I looked a little slow in the relay, but I guess I did fine, huh? Actually, I noticed. Rin kicks me and keeps me from finishing my sentence. Wow. Rin's got those kicks. What was that all about? He noticed it. At the end. That's not good. Guess the nurse will look at it for me later. There's a carelessness in her voice, as if it isn't a big deal, but I suddenly noticed a slight twitch on her face, like she's trying to hide the fact that she's in pain. And then I noticed that her breathing is a little shallow too. I guess she really is hurt. She must notice my concern because she skips up to me and gives me a friendly pat on the shoulder. Hey, you look a little worried. I'm fine, really. Just sore from all the running is all. Hey, come on, a little pain isn't gonna stop me. Oh no? Emmy grins, and for the moment she looks like she did during her sprint, fierce and unconquerable. Or to put it another way, really beautiful. Hasn't yet. Apparently, Travis. Well then, I guess I shouldn't worry, huh? Damn right, I'm Emmy Ibarazaki, fastest thing on no legs. I don't stop for anything. Impressive. Emmy giggles and then seems to remember something. Oh, before I forget, Rin and I are going to do something next Sunday as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Normally we do it out day after, but since the track meet was on a Sunday, I've got homework and class and all that stuff to take care of. Plus our morning run, of course. Right, of course. Oh right, your mom wanted to say she's proud of you. She'd call you later tonight. I thought I saw her in the stands. I'm glad she made it. Used to be my dad who showed up to my meets, but mom's done a pretty good job of taking over. She shivers slightly, and I realize that she's still all sweaty. A breeze is starting to blow too. It's not cold at all, and I've got my jacket with me, so without a word I throw it around her shoulders. Emmy jumps slightly and then grins at me. Hey, thanks! It's getting a little cold, I guess. Yeah, looked like it. Just as I begin to wonder whether or not giving Emmy my jacket could have been taken the wrong way, a boy in a track uniform approaches. Hey, Emmy, you're going to miss the medal ceremony. Oh yeah, thanks! True, bunny. She turns to Rin and myself. You don't have to stick around for this part. It takes forever. Besides, you should get cracking on your homework now if you don't want to be up late, Hisao. Morning run tomorrow. Don't forget. How could I? Good point. I mean, it's spending time with me after all. With this, she waves quickly and dashes off to receive her medals, or whatever they pass off as a medal these days. Rin and I head away from the track, Rin remaining deep in whatever thoughts she has for most of the walk back to her dorm. As I see her off, she speaks up. You're probably not getting the coat back. I think. Sounds about right. Who would have thought? We're not going to get the coat back at all. I'm sure I'll get it back eventually. Interesting. Take it as it comes, huh? Very Emmy-ish. With this odd statement, she turns and heads into the building. Honestly, was it that big a deal? Emmy was cold and, unless I'm mistaken, in pain. Giving her a solution to at least one of those problems seems like an obvious reaction. Though I guess there is a chance I could lose my jacket if Emmy never remembers to return it. I guess Rin has a point. Still, I can't bring myself to muster much worry over the whole thing. After all, it's been getting warmer lately. I don't need a jacket. Odd. I think I used to be a little more responsible with my stuff. Emmy-ish, huh? Maybe that's not really a bad thing. It's not. Trust me, it's not. Next time skip. So at least we're supporting Emmy with her dreams, but we haven't had really any choices. Interesting. You haven't been forgetting to take your medicine, have you? I'm catching a little murmur. You should take it easy for a few days. The nurse's words hurt me far more than the exhaustion of the morning run ever could. Take it easy for a few days? I knew I should have kept quiet. I keep my eyes on the floor, feeling like a complete idiot. Of course I hadn't been remembering to take my medication. I've been rushing out of my room to get to the tracks before Evie. After the track meet a few days ago, I felt inspired. So I've been running warm-up laps in the morning before Emmy shows up. But then today, while she and I were running, I felt a little pain in my chest. It was only slight, and only for a second, so I mentioned it to the nurse. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I kept running and finished just fine, so it really couldn't have been that bad. Why do I feel like I'm making the excuses to the nurse? Moreover, why do I feel the need to justify continuing to run despite the pain? Really, it comes down to me being unwilling to concern Emmy, who seemed concerned anyway. I'm not sure how she'll be able to tell there was anything wrong, but she claims I stumbled a little. She's the one who insisted I tell the nurse, so now I feel bad for worrying her at all. True, we're the smartest, Travis. The nurse is shaking his head ruefully while Emmy paces outside the room. So, I know it's difficult for you to get into a new routine, but if you don't want to find yourself in a lot of trouble, you're gonna have to try harder. You can't afford to forget your pills. You can't push yourself too hard. But if I don't push myself, how will I improve? I don't know where that came from. The nurse seemed to have an idea. Now, where have I heard that before? He laughs and pats me on the shoulder. Ha, she's rubbing off on you, I guess. His expression changes again. He's back in serious mode. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't push yourself, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking your medication, and it doesn't mean you should stop if your chest starts to bother you. I prefer not to have any fatalities while I'm on staff here. A bit of a lofty goal to be sure, but I'm always up for a challenge. I hate to admit it, but I think he's right. I got to remember to take my medication. You're right. I'm sorry to worry you. Who's worried? You're a smart kid, right? I know you can be responsible, Hisao. In a situation like yours, you got to learn to be responsible fast. I know. His expression suddenly becomes devious. I suppose you're starting to enjoy your runs with Emmy then, huh? Yeah, they've been really helping me. He'll be fine, Sparky. Stop freaking out. There's no reason to freak out. You'll be fine. I mean, until today, I was feeling a lot more healthy. Plus, it's been really impressive to see Emmy run. Did you see her at the track meets? She was incredible. The nurse nods, grinning all the while. That she was, Hisao. I watched her first couple of races before I had some business to take care of, but she told me all about it. Kind of you to loan her a jacket, by the way. Huh? Oh yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. I had honestly forgotten all about that. I still haven't gotten it back. GG. The nurse gave it a smile that makes me feel like he just made a joke. Not to you, but Emmy certainly appreciated it. I know she appreciates you running with her in the mornings. This one catches me off guard a little. Sure, she mentioned that it's easier to keep to a schedule with an extra person, but I don't think that I was doing her a favor at all. I thought she was doing me the favor of helping me follow the doctor's orders. She tries harder when you're around. If there's someone else running with her, she's going to push herself even more. And she tries even harder when you're around because, well, it's you. What the heck does that mean? Oh, you'd love to know, wouldn't you? He laughs in the style of evil megalomaniacs. No, seriously, it's because you're a friend. If Rin ran with her, I'm sure she'd do the same. Probably. Well, that's not the point. The point is you're helping her, even if you don't know you are. And she's grateful that, even if she never says it. What do you mean, even if she never says it? Amy doesn't talk a lot, but she and I have known each other for long enough that I can read her most of the time. I'll admit it, I have no idea what he's talking about. Amy's always seems pretty talkative to me. I see. Then suddenly realizes they've been rambling and stops talking, looking a little embarrassed. Anyway, you don't have to stop your morning exercises. Hey, Laura. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Awesome. How are you doing? All the above. Welcome. Just walk the track instead of running for a few days. Let things calm down. And take your damn medicine. I laugh as I exit the office, bumping straight into Emmy. Whoops, sorry about that.
Are you okay? What did the nurse say? Do you need to go to the hospital? Oh my gosh, it was my fault, wasn't it? I've been pushing you too hard, haven't I? I'm a horrible person. The words pour forth like a torrent. She's really agitated. I didn't expect her to be this concerned about me, to be honest. Gotta calm her down, but how the hell do I do that? I do the only thing I could think of. I give her a hug. Emmy tenses up slightly, so I pat her head in what I hope is a reassuring manner. Yo, we've reached hug zone! Let's go! Let's go! We got the hug zone. Hugs in the air. Hey, settle down. I'm fine, okay? No worries. I can feel Emmy's body relax as I continue to assure her I'm fine. Her arms wrap around me as if she's trying to confirm that I'm not about to fall over dead. I catch a whiff of her hair. It smells like sweat, or how adrenaline should smell. It's the scent of activity, and a hint of strawberries. From her shampoo, I suspect. I just need to remember to take my medicine, that's all. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. You sure? Her voice is muffled, mostly because at the moment her face is pressed into my chest. Yeah, I'm sure. I just need to take it a little easy for the next few days. It suddenly occurs to me how close the two of us are. It also occurs to me how nice being this close feels. I can feel Emmy's heartbeat calming down. I have to resist the urge to rest my chin on top of her head. But that's the best thing to do. I haven't had a hug in like 2 years. So... But I remember resting your chin on their head is always nice. Thank goodness. You really had me worried there, Hisao. Emmy, you going to come in here anytime soon? Oh, I'm sorry. Was I interrupting? The two of us spring apart as if the other just caught on fire. Emmy brushes her hair back nervously and laughs. Not what I meant. I meant like IRL hugs, but thank you guys anyway. I appreciate it. Why all the hugs? I'm just gonna Anywho, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Of course not. I'll see you later, okay? Oh, and Hisao? Take your damn medicine. This last phrase is punctuated by a punch to the shoulder. Yeah, I'll remember. My gosh, Travis. See you later. Litter smiles again like he's on some joke I don't know about and waves to me as I head for my room, feeling a burning in my cheeks. We did get punched. I need a shower. A cold one, if the thoughts running through my head now are any indication. She was really soft. Our pillows are waiting for me when I went into my room. I swallowed them without a second thought. I don't know why I didn't think of waiting until after the runs to take them. For some reason, I figured it was when I woke up, or not at all. But no, they only need to be taken every 24 hours. The exact time of day doesn't factor into it. My thoughts drift back to the hug in the hallway. It's weird. You expect someone to smell foul after a run, but for some reason, Emmy smelled right. That tinge of sweat just seemed to fit her. I really need that shower. Ooh, shower time. No, sorry, what? Casually drinks this Red Bull. Strange that it feels so natural for me to go up to the roof these days. I never would have done such a thing at my old school. In those days, I liked to eat alone. No, that's not quite true. But I like to sit alone. I also like to watch people. I always figured that was the sort of person I was, but it appears I was wrong. Then again, I also thought I was the sort of person who had a normal heart, so there you have it. I don't know myself that well. Now I'm on that roof, so I can't have lunch with a couple of people, and they are both girls, which is even stranger. Oddly enough, I feel closer to Emmy and Rin than I felt to anyone at my old school. Somehow I get the feeling that at least they'd at least visit me if I wound up in the hospital. I mean, Connie's not wrong. I focus on the view from the roof, banishing such thoughts from my head. There's a light breeze blowing, and the sun is shining high in the sky. The sky itself is a deep blue with hardly a cloud in it. It's gotten pleasantly warm, and as I sit down to wait for my friends, I close my eyes and enjoy the feeling of the sun seeping into my skin. We die. Game over. Voices intrude upon the edge of hearing. Seems to have fallen asleep on us, Rin. Maybe he's faking to lull us into a false sense of security. Why would he do that? No idea. Still, you make a good point. We should kick him or something to make sure he's really asleep. Huh, what? Emmy looms over me like only a short girl can, peering at me intently. Oh, you're awake. I guess we don't have to kick you then. Was it part of your master plan? What are you talking about? Emmy shrugs, her twin tails bouncing with emotion. I'm not sure either. You must be pretty tired to fall asleep out here. Although it's pretty comfortable, I suppose. She plops down next to me and begins to eat. Rin sits opposite from the two of us, a move which only makes me more aware of the girl sitting next to me. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear Rin did it on purpose. I concentrate on my food, trying to tune out the majority of the conversation that Rin and Emmy are having. Despite my best efforts, however, I still find myself glancing over at Emmy whenever she speaks. I notice how she purses her lips when she thinks she's thinking about something, squinting slightly as if it would improve her thinking ability. Rin says something that makes Emmy laugh, and I notice, perhaps for the first time, how she laughs with her whole body, rocking back and forth, head thrown back almost like she's about to fall over. I probably look like a creep. It's about this time that I realize Emmy's looking at me, her voice raised slightly, so she probably just asked me a question. Huh? Sorry, I kind of zoned out there for a moment. Emmy rolls her eyes, with a slight quirk of the eyebrow as the only sign that Rin's even paying attention. I said, did you get a career survey in your class too? You know, one of those, what do you want to do after high school things? I don't think so. Maybe we'll get one tomorrow. What are you going to put down? That's a really good question. I guess I always figured I'd go to college after high school, but I have no idea what I'd do once I got there. With the heart attack and all, I'd really be concentrating on each day as it came rather than making short long-term plans. I suppose I can safely start planning ahead again. I always like having at least a vague plan for my future, so it'd be nice to come up with one again. Of course, that doesn't change the fact that right now I've got absolutely no clue. I was kind of assumed I figured it out in college, that or just become a salaryman. That's pretty popular. But do I really want to? That's a tough question. I guess I don't really want to do anything. You don't sound very excited about that one, do you? She laughs as she says this, and I'm caught up in her laugh again. It's so girlish, high and giggly, like a, well, pardon the cliche, like a babbling brook. It bubbles out of her, starting in her belly and works her way up to her throat. I can't help but laugh myself, it's infectious. Yeah, I guess I'm pretty unhappy with the salaryman idea. But to be honest, I haven't given much thought to my future recently. I suppose that these days I've been more concerned with living one day at a time. Emmy considers this for a moment and grins. That's a pretty good idea, Hisao. I just wrote down pirate. This girl needs a brain. I'm momentarily stunned and I start laughing. I stop myself and manage to gasp out a question. You're not actually serious, are you? Emmy looks mock offended. Well, I've got the legs for it already, so I just kind of figured. Wow, the jokester. Even Rin seems amused by this. Just you wait, I'll be the terror of the high seas. I'll show you all. I've even been working on my pirate voice. She suddenly springs up and begins swaggering up and down the rooftop shouting orders. Yar, me hearties! Give 'em a broadside with the long guns! We'll wear their guts for gutters! Do you even know what that means? Ren's unexpected interruption stops Emmy in her tracks. Not really, but it's all that delivery. The ringing of the bell prevents her from demonstrating her point further. Emmy dashes off immediately, leaving Rin and myself alone on the roof. Rin stares at me intently for a few moments. Is there something wrong? Rin considers this question closely for a moment. After a lengthy pause, she shakes her head. Nope. Okay, why are you the staring then? Rin shakes her head again. Nope, I don't get it. Get what? The staring thing. You two seem to. But I don't. Great, she saw me staring. Now she probably thinks I'm a pervert or something. Actually, probably not. This is Rin we're talking about, after all. Rewinding disabled? I guess I've never, looked into how to enable it. I can check right now while I'm at it. Nope. Seeking. There's nothing about it. Oh, enable DVR. I think that's what it is. Hold on. I think it's DVR. Hold on. How about now? Save changes. I don't know if this will allow for it, but if you want to refresh and see if it works. I guess I never really looked into it because I was always told it wasn't the case or wasn't possible. So, works, cool. Actually, probably not. This is Rin we're talking about after all. Instead, I feel the need to defend myself. I wasn't staring, I was just tired. Rin actually snorts at this, but she doesn't say anything. No, really, I was just distracted is all. Eager to end this conversation, I head back down to class. I'm greeted by the twin specters of Shizune and Misha, looking like they mean business. Well, Shizune looks like she means business anyway. Misha just looks like she's about to start laughing at any minute. Up on the roof again, Hee-chan? You know that's dangerous, don't you? Concerned dots. That's right. The school cannot be held responsible for any injury that comes from being up there, you know. Furthermore, we could report you for breaking the rules. Misha leans in and whispers conspiratorially. But we won't, Hee-chan. You three are too cute together. She straightens up again, laughing at my sudden blush. Okay. You're too easy to tease, Hee-chan. Hey, come on. I'm still new here, sort of. Isn't it mean to pick on the newcomer like this? Nope. It's to help you get acclimated to your new surroundings. I see. Well, do you have to be so overzealous about it? Yep. Ah, that aside, Hee-chan, we were looking for you this morning, but you weren't in your room. Of course I wasn't. I was out for my morning exercise, or here in class bright and early. Unlike you. Shizune likes peeved, and a beat later, so does Misha, or she tries to at any rate. That was because of student council business! You should be grateful that we worked so hard for you. Oh, I am. So what do you need me for? Not another attempt to rope me into do their dirty work, I hope. We had to give you something, but since you weren't around, we dropped it off in your room. Something? Like what? Oh, you'll find out when you get back, Hee-chan. Muto entered the room, and Muto entering the room ends our conversation, and we all head to our seats. It's only after I settle down at my desk and the teacher starts talking about something or other that something strikes me. What did Rin mean you two seem to? Was Emmy staring at something too? For a brief moment, I considered the possibility that Emmy was staring at me the way I was staring at her. Of course, that's ridiculous. Still, I can't deny that I wouldn't mind if it were true. But it's best not to think of that. No need to get my hopes up. Come to think of it, when did I start having hopes like that anyway? I shake my head and attempt to clear it and focus on the lesson. Aw, jeez, but everyone's pretty good. After class, I make my way to my room. Muto really piled on the homework today. Before I could open my door, however, I'm suddenly intercepted by Kenji, who has just exploded out of his room in a flurry of papers. Hey, we need to talk. These rooftop shenanigans of yours, man. They've got to stop. What? You're running around on the rooftop with limbless wonders. They're women, man. You'll get yourself killed running around like that. I don't follow. Kenji sighs and adjusts his glasses before what can be understood as an attempt at explaining himself patiently. Look, we're friends, so I'm telling you this for your own good. But if I was going to kill someone, I'd do it by throwing them off the roof and making it look like an accident. And if I thought of it, you'd be sure that they've thought of it too. I know, man, Travis. Everyone's just spreading these rumors. It's high school all over again. They're crafty, almost as crafty as I am. I see. Good. I'm glad we had this chat. Loan me 500 yen. I'm sorry? I need to get a drink, man. I've been inside all day and the tap water's been compromised, as I'm sure you know. So I need to stock up on something can, got it? But to do that, I need 500 yen. And since I've just saved your life with timely advice, you can at least spare me 500 yen. You know, if it'll make him go away, 500 yen is a bargain. I hand the money, over to Kenji, who nods and thanks and dashes off down the hallway, but not before he locks his door. What an exhausting person. I'd better go in case he changes his mind. As I close the door, my heel taps against something lying on the floor. It's a bright-colored rectangle of paper, and this must be the something Misha mentioned before. Probably a student council leaflet she slid under the door. However, when I pick it up, I find that I couldn't have been more wrong. Someone actually wrote me an old-fashioned handwritten paper letter. Who bothers doing something like that in this day and age anyway? Yet, as unlikely as the prospect of receiving one sounds, this is definitely a letter that I have in my hands. I was planning on finishing my homework, getting some dinner, and going to bed in order to be ready for tomorrow's morning run. However, the letter naturally caught my interest. I sit at my desk to examine it properly. It's the first piece of mail I've received here at Yamaku, so it feels special even if it wasn't something as rare as a handwritten letter. What causes me even more trepidation is the name of the sender, written neatly on the back of the envelope. Iwanako. I have no idea why she would write to me. I haven't been in contact with anyone from my old school since I transferred, and Iwanako is the last person I expect to want to write me a letter. Iwanako is the girl who tried asking us out before we had the heart attack. The last time I saw Iwanako was terribly awkward, embarrassingly so. She came to my hospital room, peeled me an apple out of courtesy, and then we practically sat in silence for half an hour. She said goodbye and didn't look me in the eye when she closed the door. It might have been a natural end to the series of visits that were probably pretty painful for both of us. Every time she visited me in the hospital, I wanted to talk to her, but something stopped me every time. Every time that I didn't speak made the next time even harder. She looked so guilty that I didn't want to say anything that might upset her, and I could never figure out the right words to say. I think Iwanako blamed herself for my heart attack. That's ridiculous, of course, but knowing it and believing it are two very different things. I told her that it wasn't her fault. She nodded, and I really think she understood that if it hadn't been that, then sooner or later something else would have made my heart give out. Some people do. Yet she looked so hopelessly sad every time she opened that door and entered my room. So I never managed to say the things I wanted to say. In the end, that might have hurt her even more. Carefully open the envelope and draw out a folded letter from within. Dear Hisao, how are you? I hope you are well and happy at your new school. Everyone here misses you. Almost all of our second year class got put together in class 3-1 for the final year, so we're pretty comfortable right now from the beginning of the year. I'm sure you would have been assigned to this class as well. The mood among the third years seemed to be very anxious about the final exams, even though they are so far away. The teachers are badgering us all about it all the time, even old Mr. Tachibana, who is, by the way, our homeroom teacher this year. Would you believe it? I was sure that he'd retire after our second year, but here he is, nagging everyone about studying for exams. I think things like that are the main reason why the mood among the third years is so nervous. I must admit that I'm somehow losing confidence in myself as well, even though I've always fared reasonably well in the exams. It's so weird to think that we're already seniors, isn't it? Time has really flown past. I wonder where it went. The new first year seems so young and somehow really innocent. I keep wondering if I was like them in my first year. I've been feeling nostalgic like this for the whole first trimester. Nice, Cassie. There are other things I want to say. I'm writing to you because I felt that there are things I should have said after the incident back in winter. I really regret that I wasn't able to say them in person, and I have no excuse for it. Yeah, I think I've had quite enough of this. I crumple up the sheet of paper and toss it across my room. My aim is off, so the letter rolls under my nightstand instead of going into the wastebasket. That was an apology for abandoning me, except I don't know that I really need it anymore at this point. The hospital seems like a lifetime ago, and here, now, I got other things on my mind. Emmy, for starters. It wasn't great to be abandoned during my stay, but it's not something I'm worried about anymore. In fact, I hadn't even thought about the hospital what feels like forever until this letter came in. It's almost annoying to have received it. I've got exams to study for myself. I have no time for the past. Now about that homework. Get yeeted. True. So what's the plan for today anyway? I'm waiting patiently in the hallway of the girls' dormitory just outside of Emmy and Rin's room. Emmy is apparently helping Rin with getting dressed. I suppose it makes perfect sense, as I have no idea how Rin would get dressed otherwise. Picnic! Picnic? That's what I said! Sounds pretty exciting. I know, right? Rin chooses this moment to make an observation. The sky seems threatening today. Actually, I noticed that too on my way over. Despite the sunshine of the early morning, the afternoon seems to have taken a turn for the gloomy. There's a heaviness to the air as well that usually heralds a rainstorm. I wonder if I should have brought my umbrella. She's got a point. Emmy, you sure that you still want to risk getting caught in the rain? I don't even know why I'm bothered asking. Emmy pops out of Rin's room into the hallway looking shocked that I even suggest canceling our plans. Of course! What, the threat of rain's supposed to stop me? I can't help but grin at her belligerent response. It's almost like she's daring the rain to come. If Mother Nature was walking down the street, I think Emmy would probably start a fight with her. Probably. Or at least challenge her to a race. In fact, Emmy seems almost aggressively cheerful today. Rin wanders out of the hallway, looking her usual self. Well then, are we all ready to go? I'm ready! Rin nods and says a single word. Basket. Beg pardon? The basket. In Emmy's room. You should carry it. Emmy claps a hand to her mouth, embarrassed. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot all about it! Nice save, Rin. Emmy darts into her room and emerges with what looks like a very well-stocked picnic basket. As she hands it over to me, I note that it feels heavy enough to be one, too. Good lord, how much food did she pack? More to the point, where'd she get the money for all of this? So are we all set to head out? Yep. Rin gives another nod and we head out of the dormitory. I can't help but frown when I notice how gray the sky's gotten in the 10 minutes I was inside. Still, Emmy does not seem concerned by such petty concerns as the color of the sky. She's positively skipping as we walk. Which reminds me, where are we going? This brings Emmy up short and she shoots me an embarrassed look. You know, I hadn't really thought about that. What do you think, Hisao? Well, there's the spot where we ate during the festival, but it might not be nice to leave the campus for a while. However, I'm not sure if there's any good places to do that in town. Just as I'm about to open my mouth, Rin unexpectedly interjects with a suggestion. There's a park in the town near the art shop. Great idea, Rin! I totally forgot all about that place. Crisis averted. Do you know how to get there, Rin? Rin shrugs. It's pretty likely. Good enough for me! I would prefer knowing for sure, but what the hell? Lead on, Rin. The three of us quickly make our way off campus and take the road down into town. This basket's a bit heavy. I hope that the park is close by. We pass the art supply store, Rin slowing her pace slightly as we go by. Emmy notices Rin's change of pace and stops. You want to go in, Rin? Rin shrugs. Nothing I need. Are you sure? There's the slightest flutter of a smile on Rin's face, quickly replaced with her usual expression. Life's uncertain, but on this at least I'm pretty sure. Nice of you to offer. Well, it's not like I'm the one carrying the basket. But I'll bet Hisao wouldn't have minded anyway, right? Oh, of course not. This is hardly a heavy load. I flex for emphasis. Flex! 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 Anyway. Emmy stifles a snort of laughter by pointing to the park at which we've suddenly arrived. Oh, I remember this place. I ran into you here that one time, didn't I, Rin? Rin's eyebrow raised slightly. Maybe. I'm unwilling to say for certain one way or the other. Memory's a tricky thing, you know. Well, I'll be. We made it in one piece after all. The stun's still nowhere to be seen, but neither Emmy nor Ren seem to mind. Aww. We find a spot to sit in the grass, and I set the basket down gratefully. This is a cute picture. This is adorable. There's a surprising amount of food prepared. Maybe we're supposed to be joined by some of Emmy's teammates or something? I'm starving! Dig in! She texts the food as she's had nothing to eat for years. I'm just reaching for the food myself when I feel the first drop of rain land on the back of my head. Aww. Rin doesn't seem to care. We're just like, oh well. Uh-oh. Looks like the weather's not going to cooperate with us after all. Emmy glares at the sky as if that alone will hold back the rain. I very nearly believe she could do it. It's one heck of a glare. It had better cooperate. You hear me, Sky? You stop that raining right this instant. The Sky doesn't seem inclined to listen to her, despite the commanding tone she's taken away with it. Instead, the rain seems to increase. Rin wrinkles her nose in distaste at this turn of events. Regrettable. What do you mean? Rin shrugs. I could paint this if I weren't out here. Shame to miss it, Azal. She doesn't seem angry or annoyed about it, just looks just a little disappointed. Emmy laughs in response to Rin's comment. Guess we should have stopped into that supply store after all, huh? Oh my gosh, Sparky. The rain increases a little more, offended that we haven't fled yet. Despite the warm temperatures we've been enjoying, the rain is rather cold. I wish I brought my umbrella. Hey, we should probably head inside to keep dry. We're already pretty wet, Hisao. Yeah, but we could dry off this way and maybe wait out the storm. You don't want to catch a cold or anything, do you? Emmy considers this for a moment. I can tell that part of her wants to stay out in the rain just despite the weather. Unfortunately for her, the weather hardly cares about what we do. I suppose you're right. Where could we go? I don't have an answer for her. The area is still pretty new to me. Though I guess I'm slowly getting used to the school itself, the surrounding town remains a mystery. All I know is the art supply store, and that's only because we just passed it. Fortunately, Emmy soon snaps her fingers in triumph. That's it! There's a tea shop nearby! We can have some tea and dry out, no problem. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. Great, you know where it is? Emmy nods, looking fairly confident. Sure do! I think. But it'll be an adventure either way, right? Adventure, huh? Well, I suppose we could use a little adventure. I think as long as we get out of the rain, I'll be happy. The picnic basket is a little lighter now, at least. Lead on. Rin and I follow Emmy as she weaves through the streets with something approaching confidence. Now left here. There, the Shanghai. Emmy beats triumphantly as she points to the tea shop. It seems fairly crowded inside, a symptom of the sudden rain, I'm sure. Welcome, Yuko, what the hell are you doing here? Why are you in a maid cafe tea place? Hi, welcome, I'm surprised to find out that our waitress is none other than Yuko. She sure looks the part in her uniform. It's hard to believe that this is the same librarian from her school. Does she work 2 jobs? I guess that must be it. Oh, it's you! Yuko seems to know Emmy. Emmy grins brightly, pleased to be remembered. Hey, Yuko! Hi, Yuko. I didn't know you worked here, too. Do I know you? You seem awfully familiar, but I don't think I've ever seen you in here. We met at your other job at the Yamaku library, remember? Her eyes widened in memory. Yes, that's it. Nice to see you again. Oh no, this is bad. I should have remembered a customer's face. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Yuko goes from realization to panic in a split second, performing a series of high-speed bows. I'm narrowly avoiding getting headbutting in the process. Whoa, hey, calm down. Listen, I wasn't a customer when we first met. In fact, I hadn't even been to the Shanghai, so it's all right. Not the best display of logic, but it seems to relax her a little. Do you really think so? Yeah, I'm sure. Positive, isn't that right, girls? Emmy has been watching this little drama unfold with considerable amusement. Yep, it sure is. Well, okay. So, Yuko, got room to seat us? Yuko nods and leads us to a corner booth, providing us with some small towels before taking our order. Well, thanks, Sparky. I appreciate it. What will you have? Cake and some tea, too, I guess. What kind of cake? Surprise me. Yuko looks uncomfortable at the thought of surprising anyone, but she gives a nod and turns to Rin. And for you? I'll take a straw. My feet are all wet. Sorry? The drinking kind of straw. One, please. Yuko is obviously uncertain of what to think about this. She fiddles with her pen and stationery for a moment, looking like she's about to cry before turning in my direction. And you, sir? Just tea, I think? Emmy would probably yell at me if I ordered cake. Aw, come on, Isao. Don't let me be the only one with food. I'll feel like a pig. Just trying to eat healthy. Your orders, after all. Well, today's your day off. You can be healthy tomorrow. Well then, I suppose I'll have some cake after all. Yuko seems slightly irritated that I'm changing my mind. What kind? I glance at Emmy and grin. Surprise me. Yuko sighs and nods. Very well, your order will be out soon. Good. Despite the crowd, our order does indeed arrive quickly. Hey, Siren, how's it going? Welcome. Thanks, Yuko! Yuko nods in appreciation. This is a different guy than usual, isn't it? What? Different guy? Emmy must notice my confusion because she seemed a little embarrassed. But what? Oh, yeah, I guess he is. This is my friend Hisao. We've met. Huh. Small world. Well, let me know if you need anything. With that, Yuko takes off like a shot to wait on some other tables, leaving me to ponder her comment. Different guy, huh? I guess it makes sense, right? Emmy's pretty popular, or so I've been told. It's probably that kid from the track team. This is stupid. I could just ask Emmy. So, who's this other guy, huh? You got a secret lover or something? Emmy laughs again, only I get the feeling it's from nervousness as much as anything else. Nice, Siren, nice. It's just the track team captain. He likes coming down here after practice sometimes. So if we have anything to discuss, I tag along. Sounds mighty suspicious to me. Oh, I see. I could let the matter drop, but I can't resist at least getting another dig in. So it is a secret lover. I knew it. Ren watches our play, seemingly mildly amused before muttering something that I don't quite catch. Yeah, anyway. What? Huh? Ren jerks back from whatever her mind wandered off to. Huh? What did you just say? Huh. No, before that. No idea. Oh well. What did you say, Ren? Okay. I let the matter drop, but I can't notice that Emmy seems relieved that Rin interrupted the conversation. Maybe I went a little too far. Conversation dies down for a moment as Emmy and I busy ourselves with cake. Mine is strawberry and surprisingly good. Emmy seems to think so too as she suddenly reaches over with her fork and steals a bit. Thief? Pirate, there's a difference. We're not on water. Well, no, but there's a lot of water outside, so it still works, right? Besides, you can have some of mine. I think it's cranberry or something. I should have asked for the strawberry. I like strawberries. Feel free to help yourself to mine, if you really must. For some reason, I feel compelled to add, seeing as you've already done it once and all. Emmy sticks her tongue out at me, but that doesn't stop her from appropriating my cake. I try some of hers as well. It's raspberry. Pretty good. Actually scary? Oh, the siren head? Gotcha. The rain's lit up. It would appear that Rin is correct. Good timing, too. I finished my food, and it looks like Emmy has as well. Well, we better pay and get a move on before it starts raining again. It takes a few minutes to get Yuko's attention, but we pay and get out pretty quickly. So do you want to return to the park? My jaw nearly drops. Are you kidding? It's probably going to rain again. In fact, I think I just felt some raindrops. You may be right. Well, okay, I'll let you off the hook this time, but you owe me a picnic now. Got it? I don't know if she's addressing me, Rin, or both of us. Fine, fine. Now hurry up, I want to get some laps in at the track, and it would be nice to do it without the rain. I thought this was your day off. Well, Emmy seemingly seems reluctant to explain herself. I need the practice. And I need to burn off that cake anyway. Why do I get the feeling that she's leaving something out? Are you sure? It wasn't that much cake. No, it wasn't that much cake for you. I ate most of it. She's got a point there. Still, I feel like I should at least offer to run with her. Yeah, let me run with Emmy. I want to run with her. Hey, I'll run with you. I might as well, right? Emmy shakes her head empathetically. No, you won't, Hisao. Rest is critical for you, remember? I won't allow you to push yourself too hard. I guess she's better at giving advice than taking it. Whatever you say, Emmy. I think it's probably best not to press the issue. As you approach the girls' dormitory, it starts to rain again. Emmy's expression sours slightly. Aw, man. Stupid rain. Hey, I'll let it soon enough. You can go running then, right? Emmy snorts, seemingly amused. Like, I'm not going to run in the rain. Well, you shouldn't. You'll catch a cold. Emmy waves her hand airily. Ridiculous. I don't get colds. My immune system is far too strong for something like that. I can't help but laugh. Well, I'll see you tomorrow then, okay? Yeah. Thanks for coming. Oh, and for carrying the picnic basket. I'll bring it for lunch tomorrow. We could have our picnic on the roof. Sounds good to me. See you then. Emmy grabs a basket from me and shoots through the door. Ring gives me a sort of half nod and ambles inside as well. Damn, it's wet out here. I need to get back into my room and into dry clothes. Emmy catches cold next day. True. I'm soon in front of my door, but I'm interrupted by the sudden appearance of Kenji, who appears to be carrying a stack of books. Hey man, give me a hand, would you? Huh? The books are unceremoniously dumped into my arms as Kenji fumbles with his room key. Thanks, you're a lifesaver. If you weren't around, I have to keep my door unlocked, and that's just begging for trouble. The perfect opportunity to set up an ambush, or maybe just plant a bomb if they don't want to get their hands too dirty. Probably not, don't. I'm afraid they'll break a nail or something if they have to stab me. Women. My mind thinks about digesting the verbal torrent that's just been unleashed, but I like to remain comfortably in the dark. Anyway, where have you been, man? I could be some help carrying these back from the library. I knocked at your door, but you weren't there. Oh, sorry. Not really. You appear to think I'm some kind of pack mule. I was out with Emmy and Ren. Kenji staggers back in shock. It looks like he just shot his dog, if he had a dog. The limbless ladies again? What do you do this time? Well, we round up at the Shanghai. I'm prevented from continuing by a sudden exclamation of despair. The Shanghai? Why the Shanghai? No, man, you can't just go to the damn Shanghai. That's the most dangerous place in the city. A veritable stronghold of their best agents. I know, I've met them. They'll stop at nothing to lure you into a false sense of security, and then BAM! He hits his door for emphasis. Wall's gone, bus pass gone, identity fucking gone, man. Promise me you won't go there again. He seems so vehemently opposed to the idea of the Shanghai that I'm willing to lie a little in order to get to my room. Sure, I won't go there again. Or at least I won't ever tell you that I've gone there again. It seems to mollify my bespectacled companion. Good. Sorry to come on so strong, but I know the danger there too well to just let you wander into the lion's den again. You got out there alive once, but twice is pushing it. Yeah, well, I need to get changed and do homework, so I'll see you later? Huh? Oh, sure, whatever. I suddenly remember that I'm still holding his books. You better take these. I catch a glimpse of one of the titles, something about cryptography. What a weirdo. Kenji grabs his precious cargo from me and disappears through his doorway. I open my own door and walk in, grateful to get out of my soaking wet clothes. The rain outside picks up, and I find myself hoping that Emmy's not out running in this weather. She seems so adamant about doing this run alone, I can't help but wonder if her leg's still bothering her. I try to remember whether or not I've seen her limping at all today, but I can't. I guess I was too caught up in enjoying the day, even if it did rain on us. As I think back over the events of today, I keep finding myself focusing on my running partner. Her complete refusal to allow the rain to spoil her plans was incredibly cute, but there was something else there too. Sort of an unflappable attitude when it comes to enjoying the days as it comes. I really like that quality. Maybe I need to do a little of that myself. Hey villain, how's it going? It's a good game so far, I will say. Definitely good. Since I'm doing a time check right now, Travis, how close am I to the end of Act 2? I'm just curious. The sound of my alarm brings me out of the dream involving pirates and some other stuff I can't really remember. Probably sex. We are Hisao after all. I'm a little blurry-eyed, and it feels like it takes me longer than usual to get dressed and down to the track. A glance at my watch reveals that I was right, and I'm in fact running a little late. The thing is, there's no Emmy. That's odd, she should be here. She definitely should be here. I mean, I was late. I guess I wasn't the only one who had trouble getting up this morning. The thought crosses my mind that it never quite stopped raining yesterday. Did she go running anyway? It seems likely. Emmy's a lot of things, but cautious isn't one of them. She probably figured the rain wouldn't stop, and that's why she was so adamant about running alone. Still, I would have gladly run with her, even if it was in the rain. Heck, if anything, I would have been able to convince her to come in once it got really bad. That would be why she didn't want me along, of course. Even so, I can't help wanting to know where she is. Well, nothing for it. I better stretch and run, and hope that Emmy shows up with a grin and an excuse. On my cooldown lap, I am forced to admit that Emmy isn't showing up. Furthermore, I have no idea where she is. Anxiety gnaws at me, while at the same time, I wonder just why I'm so worried over her. The run helped to take my mind off of it for a little while, but now that I'm finished, I'm back to worrying. It was weird not having her here. Downright unnerving. It suddenly dawns on me that I've been running to hang out with Emmy as much as I've been running to stay healthy. Probably more to be with Emmy now that I think about it. It's one of those things that are completely obvious, and somehow I never realized it. She really is someone I enjoy being with. As revelations go, it's hardly world-shaking. Gotcha. All the same, I find myself feeling slightly shocked. When did this happen? Well, no time to think about this. Though I want to ponder this new development, I have a greater desire to find out what happened to Emmy. I'll ask the nurse when I stop to see him. Well, you seem to be in good shape, Yisao. That's good to hear. I replaced my shirt to stand to leave usable, except instead of leaving, I ask a question. Hey, where's Emmy? She didn't show up this morning. Is she okay? When I tried to valiantly conceal my anxiety in my voice, the nurse's expression suggests that I failed miserably. You mean she didn't tell you? She's sick in bed. What? Sick? The nurse shrugs. Yeah, she came to my office early this morning with a fever. To be honest, I'm surprised she made it here. She was burning up when she arrived. I believe she planned to let you know, but she asked me to tell you. Oh, shoot. The nurse gives me a sheepish smile that seems like a little at least partially sincere. I told her I'd stop by the track to let you know in case she forgot to. Sorry about that. Yeah, she did get sick. She got a cold. Well, we don't need to tell Emmy I forgot, right? I returned the nurse's smile with a devious one of my own. Oh, of course not. This is a fine blackmail material. I'll save it for whenever I need a favor from you. The nurse laughs. Well, I guess I deserve that. But you know, I got tons of blackmail on you that you're not even aware of. So don't push your luck, okay? And my expression earns another laugh from the nurse. I'm just kidding, Hisao. But seriously, don't tell Emmy I forgot, okay? Your secret's safe with me. Oh good, now go on, get out of here. Wait, I got one more question. Shoot, is she going to be okay? Oh yeah, definitely. Her fever is high, but it's already starting to go down by the time she came to my office. I'll probably check up her again at lunch to be sure, but I expect she'll be up and about the evening no matter what I tell her. Maybe I should visit her after class. It takes me a sec to realize I've spoken out loud. The nurse raises an eyebrow and gives me a searching glance for a moment. Well, it might not be a bad idea. You can let me know if she's taking a turn for the worse, I guess. No funny business, got it? I know what meds you're on after all. I think that's a threat against my life, but I'm not sure. Either way, I assured that the nurse that my intentions are chesty and exit the office. One of the skipping it takes. Okay. Oh my gosh, cheese lord. Cheese lewd, apparently, at this point. Cheese lord. Interesting that the nurse seems me as more sort of a potential suitor to Emmy. Even more interesting is how pleased that makes me feel. I need a shower. No, not the dirty shower, the good shower. The lunch bell rings and I find myself disinclined to make my way up to the roof. After all, I'm betting Rin knows where Emmy is, and if that's the case, then I doubt she'd bother going up there. More to the point, I doubt we've had any sort of scintillating conversation if she did. Chances are she'd prefer to be alone up there anyway, so I don't actually ruin her train of thought or something. Unfortunately, I don't really feel like heading up to the cafeteria either. Guess I'll go to the library instead. I need a new book to read anyway, having finished my other one yesterday before bed. Maybe I could find more by the same author. No, Cheese Lord, that's what I said. That's what I said. I need to take this hat off. Yeah, I said that, not Cassie. I love libraries. They smell like dust and paper and ink. Hey, Mitsu, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Which is Kui, I think? Possibly? All these stories and facts and opinions are crowded together in one place makes the air come alive with potential. I'm not sure how to navigate Yamaku's library yet, having mostly stuck to books I brought with me, so I searched for the librarian to ask for help. Dots. I suppose she's not around. Can't believe it. Yuko, looking rather distracted, suddenly emerges from one of the aisles. Excuse me. Oh, can I help you? Actually, I was looking for a book. So am I. Advanced Cryptography. Well, I just got it in, now it's gone missing. I really wanted to read that one. Cryptography? Yeah, this guy, I'm not sure how to describe it. Skip to the end. He got me interested in cryptography only now the book's gone, and I think it's been stolen. Sounds pretty terrible. Yeah, especially because now I have to search the whole library for it, even though it's probably not even here.
You seem busy.
A little. She dusted off down another aisle, and I resigned myself to find my own damn book.
Plenty of choices.
Well, we know who has the cartography one. Oh, come on, how did I get lost? These aren't even printed books. They're all in Braille.
I guess that makes sense in the school like this, but honestly it's a little annoying.
I'm sorry, is someone there?
A lifting voice drifts out from behind one of the cubicles set up for research. As I approach, I see Lily's been reading a book while I've been stopping about the aisles.
Oh no, I shouldn't be apologizing. I didn't mean to make so much noise. My, is that you, Hisao? I've not heard from you in quite some time. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten all about me.
Sorry. Lily laughs in that refined manner of hers and shakes her head.
I'm only teasing you, Hisao. From what I hear, you've been busy. Morning runs with Emi Ibarazaki and lunch on the rooftop, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Guess word gets around pretty quickly.
That, and I can't coax poor Hanako on the roof anymore. You three are always up there, claiming that spot for yourselves.
She chides me gently, though it's pretty clear she's just teasing me again. Still, I feel an odd need to apologize.
Sorry, we could eat lunch somewhere else if it's a real problem. Oh no, I wouldn't worry about it. Hanako and I have other things to do at lunch too, such as reading in the library, as you can see.
Oh, Hanako's here too? I didn't see her. Lily smiles a bit enigmatically.
Oh, she's around somewhere. But I'm surprised, Hisao, you're in here instead of up there. What brings you to the library?
Well, Emi's ill, so there's no lunch on the rooftop to keep me occupied. Lily raises an eyebrow at my statement before giving another chuckle.
My, poor Rin must feel left out. It's not like that. Ah, but I'm sure it isn't. Emi tends to be the life of whatever group she's in. It's a shame to hear she's fallen ill. Will she be okay?
Somehow I get the feeling that Lily's just inquiring out of politeness, but I respond anyway. The nurse thinks so. I'm going to swing by and see how she's doing after school myself. Another raised eyebrow.
My, what a noble gentleman you are, Hisao.
It's nothing really, just checking up on my friend after all.
Ah, so it's just friends, is it? How disappointing.
I blush, glad that Lily can't see it. But somehow she knows that I've been flustered by her comment anyway and laughs.
I'm sorry, Hisao. I'm teasing you again. Please do tell Emi that I hope she feels better, won't you?
A glance at my watch reveals that I'm very nearly out of time to find my book.
Of course. Hey, I've got to find a book before lunch is over, so I better get moving.
See you later. That's probably not the best phrase to use. Lily, however, takes my gaffe in stride.
Until we meet again, Hisao.
We are bad with seeing puns. I never do find the book I was looking for, but I walk out with something else instead. My stomach growls slightly, letting me know that I should have had something for lunch. Sounds about right, Punny. Oh well, I'll grab something before I visit Emi later. It seems as if time had decided to slow down for the express purpose of annoying the hell out of me. Class feels like it drags on for ages. I suspect that my being consumed with worry probably had something to do with it. Blessedly, the bell rings and I dash out of class, drawing a few raised eyebrows, I'm sure. I've spent the majority of the day fretting as obtrusively as I could. Even though the nurse thinks that Emi is perfectly okay, I want to see for myself. It doesn't take long to get to the girls' dormitory and make my way to Emi's room. Standing outside her door, I suddenly pause. What if she's resting? I'd hate to wake her up, especially if she's still feeling ill. Then again, if she sleeps all day, then it can throw off her sleeping schedule. But rest is important if you're ill, isn't it? I can't decide what to do, so I settle for standing outside the door looking like an idiot. Then I hear Emi's voice from behind the door.
Thanks for your concern, but I'm really okay.
Is she talking to me?
I'll see you at practice tomorrow.
Guess not. Still, clearly she's not asleep, so I can knock without worry. So why is this clenched feeling in my gut? I wasn't nervous about dropping by the other day, so why today? Granted, I still haven't had the time to figure out this newfound interest in Emi's well-being. I don't have a lot of experience in the matter, of course, but certainly this seems to go beyond my feelings of mere friendship. But could I take that step? Could I even bring myself to risk what I have right now? I mean, it's enough to be friends with her, isn't it? Either way, shouldn't I just open the door and see how she's doing? That's why I came here, right? What if she's not dressed yet? The image that flashes through my mind causes my heart to skip a beat, literally. I should probably not even think of those thoughts ever again. Not if I want to avoid a heart attack. I suddenly realize I'm still standing in the hallway looking like an idiot. Emi still seems to be in the middle of a conversation, but I knock anyway. Hopefully she won't mind the interruption.
You worry too much. Oh, come in. The door's unlocked.
So it is. I open the door and step in, which is about where my thought process comes to a grinding halt. Emi's sitting up in her bed, her hair tousled from the days spent asleep. Through today? Cool. I think this is the first time I've seen her without those familiar beads in her hair.
Her gym shirt and bloomers, obviously hastily pulled on before I came in, are creased and folded from less than proper storage. Oh, we get to see her legs. Yo. Her legs lay bare on the sheets. I've never seen Emmy without prosthetics before, yet here she is, slender legs terminating in stumps just below her knees. But as odd as the sight is, I find myself more captivated by even everything north of the waist. It seems that Emmy has finished her conversation with whoever was on the phone with her, and is now watching my reaction closely out of one open eye as she wipes sleep from the other. Her expression, far from being embarrassed, is rather one of the surprisingly wide yawn, one perhaps appropriate from such a small mouth. A grin that for a brief moment seems almost flirtatious tugs at the corner of her mouth as she takes the sight of me in. I can do nothing but remain in state fluctuating between fear, confusion, and not a little bit of lust. Emmy hastily sweeps her hair out of her eyes, fixing it back into place before addressing me. You seem a bit caught off guard, Hisao. A wave of laughter erupts from her, and I find myself grinning and rubbing the back of my head ruefully. Sorry, I've just... This is sweet. Siren, are you confused, or is that actually sarcasm, or legit? I'm confused. Never seen someone so deceivable look so attractive. Never seen you without your legs on. That's a weird statement. Man, let's put on your legs. Anyway. Never seen you look so... Sorry. Oh, Siren being legit. Gotcha, cool. Siren's like, wait, what? Emmy giggles again and moves to sit up a little straighter. I'm caught up in the movements of her shirt, very nearly losing myself. I was wondering what your reaction would be. The nurse called and told me you were going to drop by, you see? And I know you haven't seen me, well, you know, without legs. I respond in a tone of casual surprise. Oh, you don't have them on? I didn't notice. This is almost the truth, I very nearly didn't. I'm not trying to be suave or anything, mind you. Somehow I think Emmy would get offended by that. Instead, she sticks her tongue out at me and chucks a pillow at my head. Ass. I deftly catch the pillow and take careful aim before throwing. Emmy laughs and rolls to one side, dodging my shot, the shifting of her shirt distracting me enough so that the next thrown pillow hits me right between the eyes. Oof! I retaliate, of course. Once I've retaliated twice, well, a war was bound to break out sooner or later. And really, when Emmy appears to have a far better aim than me, well, it was just a matter of time before I'd have to resort to suicidal charge. Gotcha! Eep! Bam! Smack! Biff! Biff? What the fuck is a biff? And once the charge was accomplished, well, of course, I'd have to wrestle the pillows away from her. And with that kind of struggle, of course, we'd wind up in this sort of position. And so I find myself staring down at her from my position atop her. She's grinning, eyes sparkling with amusement, making a little sweaty now from our tussle. Her chest is heaving up and down, sucking in air. A small bit of my brain that is not currently enraptured by the sight and smell of her observes that she must still be ill, but her stamina is not what it should be. We stay that way for a while. I'm not sure how long, because everything seems to go fuzzy, everything that isn't her anyway. Her eyes meet mine, and deep inside that I almost catch a glimpse of, what, fear? Longing? Hope? Emmy? A cough suddenly confuses her, and I'm almost stumbling in my haste to get off to apologize for everything. Steak in Norwegian? Interesting. Sorry, I shouldn't have. It's fine, it's fine. She gives me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. So, what brings you here? She's still breathing hard, and that causes her voice to shake slightly. Well, before I was so rudely assaulted by pillows, I came to see how you were doing. Wham! This earns me another shove, and I very nearly fall off my bed. Or her bed. Our bed. Sorry, what? Emmy's eyes sparkle again, and I wonder how I never noticed how attractive they are before. Consumed with worry, were you? Her tone is mocking, haughty, teasing. She throws her arms across her forehead dramatically, grin still apparent from underneath. Couldn't bear the thought of me laying deathly ill. As we both recover from a brief wrestling match, Emmy appears to fall back on teasing me. Well, I wouldn't say consumed with worry, but after you didn't show up this morning like a total wuss... Emmy pouts, crossing her arms petulantly and sticking her lower lip out. It's not my fault. Nurse wouldn't allow it. Sure he wouldn't. I completely believe you. Emmy sticks her tongue out again. You're such a jerky sow. So how was your day then, eh? Did you enjoy slacking off? Not really. The phone woke me up pretty early on. The phone? Yeah, the captain of the team called to make sure I was doing okay. Also let me know it was okay to skip practice. Good, at least she wasn't alone all day. Someone checked up on her. Although I can't help but think that this should have been me. Oh, that's good. He really keeps an eye on you, huh? Emmy shrugs. It's his job. Part of being the captain means you know where your team members are when they're not in school. gosh, geez, Lord. Still, I guess it was nice of him to call, huh? Yep, sure was. Emmy yawns and shimmies down into a more comfortable position. So how was your day? Kind of uneventful, you know? I went ahead and ran by myself and talked with the nurse about how you were doing. Wait, Punny, hold on, I just checked chat. Why are you saying that's sad? No, I'm also confused. Sorry, I glossed over that a little bit. What the heck happened in the back? Because I would have noticed it in the back portion. That would make sense. To her face. True. I think an apology is in order for Siren, though. Towards Siren, sorry. I'm saying Punny should apologize to Siren. My words can't work there. Because I think that was definitely a bad jab. Punny, I'm just gonna say, please think about what you say before you speak it. You don't have to go. At least you apologized. But please, please be more mindful of what you say. That's all, okay? Please be more mindful. I meander through the day's events, none of which are particularly engrossing. That's when I'm distracted by an arm finding its way across my waist. It seems that Emmy fell asleep while I was talking, so I drew her blanket to cover us. She's rolled over to her side, and now one leg is thrown over my legs, effectively trapping me. Hey, it seems a shame to wake her, but I have things to do. Hey, Mrs. Vian, how's it going? I gently shake her, but in response she only tightens her arm's grip on me and sighs a little. My resistance's position crumbles rather quickly. The feeling of her body breathing steadily is both calming and incredibly stimulating at the same time. My breathing cannot decide if it wants to relax or speed up. Relaxation wins, and I find myself putting an arm around Emmy. I think I'm in love. The words slip out and hang in the air unnoticed. At least I hope they've gone unnoticed. Emmy whimpers weakly through her dream, and her grip suddenly tightens again. For the first time since I've known her, I see tears running down Emmy's face. It feels like my heart is about to break. I instinctively tighten my own grip and stroke her hair in what I hope is a soothing manner. Words of comfort, meaningless in this situation, spring to mind. Maybe I should wake her. Are you supposed to wake people having nightmares? I can't for the life of me remember. The decision is taken from me as Emmy suddenly jerks away with a cry. Dad! This is more than I think I want to hear without her knowing. I quickly sit upright and gently shake her shoulder to stir her. Hey, you okay? What a silly question. Huh? What? Hisao? She shakes her head as if to clear it and quickly wipes her eyes. You had a nightmare, I think. Emmy shudders again and glances up at me a little cautiously, as if unsure whether or not she's actually up. Yeah, I guess so. You want to talk about it? A speedy internal debate seems to be going on in her head, which resolves itself with a shrug. Nah, I don't really remember much of it. I'm pretty sure she's lying to me, but somehow I don't think I should press the issue. Emmy shudders again and turns toward me, looking a little sheepish. Sorry for falling asleep on you like that. I keep my voice as soothing as I can. Hey, don't worry about it. You've been ill. Yeah, I guess that cold medicine's just making me a little drowsy. I guess so. Emmy does not strike me as the sort of person who'd fall asleep at the drop of a hat. Hey, Static, how's it going? Rin maybe, but Emmy's far too energetic. Emmy gives a half smile at my response, and then just like that, she's back to her old self. Well, prepare yourself for tomorrow, Hisao. We'll have to go twice as hard to make up for today. But I went running this morning. No excuse. Oh, fine, I'll be ready for you. Emmy nods, satisfied. Good. I take this as my cue to exit. Well, I better get going, especially if I want to get enough sleep for tomorrow. I hop off the bed and head for the door. Hey, Hisao? I pivot neatly on my heel and face Emmy. She opens her mouth to say something, and then in another first, I see her falter slightly. She closes her mouth and opens it again. Thanks. For dropping by, I mean. You're kind of the first visitor I've ever had who wasn't Rin. Now that's surprising. I would have figured that Emmy had people dropping by all the time. She's certainly popular enough, or so I thought, always talking to people in the hallways. Emmy hesitates again. And thanks for staying around after I look of pain flirts across... flits across her face. You know, it helped. She brightens back up and waves cheerily at me. See you tomorrow! Yeah, see you later. I'm just about to exit the door when something makes me turn around again. Hey, Emmy? Anytime you need to talk, let me know, okay? Emmy seems taken aback by this offer. Her grin gets even wider. Sure thing, Hisao. See you in the morning! I exit Emmy's room with a head in a whirl. Should I have even left? Was she really okay? I want to turn around and march back down the hallway, open the door, and tell her. Tell her I love her. Tell her I think she's beautiful. Tell her that I'll be there when she needs me. I want to stay with her, to hold her close as she falls back to sleep. How many nights has she woken up like that, only to find that nobody's there? I want to be that person she could be with when that happens. It's a silly thought, I know. We don't know each other that well, do we? The whole idea, while exhilarating, also makes me feel worry. Worry perhaps that I'd overstepped my bounds. And now, to add to my troubles, it seems as if Emmy herself already has an interest in someone else. The track captain of hers who seems so interested in her well-being. True, I've only seen the two of them together a few times, but that doesn't change the fact that they've seemed better suited to one another. There's really nothing to be done about that. I need to take my mind off this whole situation. I got homework to do. Maybe that will distract me. We're falling in love. Love is an open door, or whatever that song is. A night of restlessness has left me feeling fairly groggy this morning. The events of the previous day keep intruding upon my mind. The memory of how Emmy felt against me. The memory of our wrestling match. And most bothersome, the memory of her nightmare. She was in so much pain. I can't stop wondering what it must be like for her to wake up and with nobody there. The shower shocks me awake with hot water. Awake, but still worried. What will happen today? Will things just go back to normal? End of the episode, back to the status quo? There was a connection yesterday, something that nearly pushed us past the boundaries of normal friendship. Would that have been so bad? My mind goes back to look at Nemi's eyes after our pillow fight. It almost seemed like she was daring me to go on. Almost. But I can't know for sure. Anyway, the track captain's probably first in her affections. But even as I say that, my mind is already snorting derisively, and I'm just looking for an excuse, a reason for everything to go wrong. A reason not to try. It's not as if I've even seen the two of them together outside of track practice. And clearly he's never visited. Emmy said as much herself. If they were close, surely he'd visit. I'm such a wuss. I ought to just go for it anyway. Damn the consequences. That's what Emmy would do, I think. Hell, I know that's what she'd do. Which is partially why I'm convinced there's no interest on her end. She hasn't acted either. Maybe because of this track captain, it's possible she's got a bit of unrequited crush thing going on. But who would be able to clarify their relationship? I'm sure as hell, it sure as hell can't be Emmy. She'd probably just laugh and ask why I wanted to know. And I'm not ready to answer that yet. Rin would probably just give me some cryptic answer or something. And then with my luck, she'd just ask Emmy, who would ask me why I wanted to know, and I've already covered that problem. I wonder, could I get away with asking the nurse? He seems pretty protective of Emmy. I'm sure he'd know if something was up. And he owes me for not letting Emmy know he forgot to tell me about her being ill, so he'll keep quiet. What if he asks me why I want to know, though? I can't shake him off. Just say I'm curious as a friend. He'll buy that, won't he? Of course! That's settled then. After the run, I'll talk to him when Emmy's waiting outside the office. There's no sign of Emmy when I arrive at the track. Is she still too ill? I decide to give her 10 minutes. I'm a little early, and she was ill yesterday, so if she takes a while to show up, it shouldn't be surprising. Still, I'd hate to just waste my time, so I occupy myself by stretching and pacing back and forth anxiously. What if I went too far yesterday? What if she doesn't want to come because she's embarrassed? What if... You're early again, Hisao! I'm impressed. Just like that, I feel some of the tension leaving my body. Emmy seems to be bright and cheerful as usual, with no sign that she even was ill the other day, much less had a less than restful sleep. Still, I have to ask. Sleep well last night? It's just a throwaway question, small talk. The sort of thing people ask someone they bump into in the cafe while getting their morning coffee. But not for us, at least not for me. I don't know if Emmy realizes that I'm actually concerned about how well she slept last night, but the question does give her pause. After a short moment of what seems like her generally pondering this, she nods. Yep, sure did. Was it because of me? Did I actually help? Or were you just saying that to get me to stop asking questions? Good to hear. Emmy grins and begins warming up. So, ready to begin? Am I ready? Of course I'm ready. I was born ready. Emmy laughs at my bravado, and we take off running. I keep a steady pace the whole time, breathing steadily. I still feel dead at the end, but at least I don't grasp like a fish out of water now. Emmy is positively beaming after the run today. Nice job, Hisao, you're improving. You'll be half as fast as me in no time. That last line is delivered with a teasing grin that I've grown all too used to. Oh, how exciting. Emmy begins to run her spirits while I take a cooldown lap, or sprints. She's really pushing herself today. By the time I'm done with my lap, she's laying across one of the bleachers looking exhausted. Goodness, not pushing it a little too much today, are you? You did just have a cold, you'll recall. Emmy gives an annoyed snort and sits up. Bah, I'm just trying to make up for lost time, that's all. I went twice as hard today, you know. A good run always gets the kinks out, you know. Clears the mind, too. Oh? Emmy nods vigorously. Yep, it's a great outlet for that sort of thing. She does not explain further, and I don't ask. I suspect I know the real reason she went so hard today. Being sick has nothing to do with it. Something's bothering her. Maybe the nightmare. Maybe something else. But it's not my place to pry. She'll tell me if she wanted me to know. I'm sure that comes in handy. You have no idea. The sincerity in her voice confirms my suspicions. The only problem is, even though I know she'd tell me if she wanted me to know, I still want to know. Something on your mind, then? Emmy doesn't seem surprised by my question. Instead, she shrugs. Nah, it's nothing worth getting worried about. She seems as if she's trying to convince herself as much as she's convincing me. I open my mouth to ask if yesterday is responsible for her current state of mind, but think better of it. Too much risk of her taking the question the wrong way. I was about to say, Travis. Besides, I'm not even sure myself what to think about yesterday. Really, I can only get about as far as how it felt to have Emmy sleeping next to me before my brain shuts down. Having her before me now, covered in sweat and looking wryly at me, she's making it difficult to think. Yeah, I hear ya. We better hurry to see the nurse. We're running short on time. Aren't we always? Emmy laughs at this, a dry chuckle that seems most un-Emmy-like. Too true. For a brief moment, she looks old, worn down by some old hurt. But just like yesterday, I can almost see her shouldering the burden and straightening up slightly. And then she's back to being Emmy again. Come on then, Hisao. Race ya! With a sudden smile, she darts off. Hey, no fair! I take off after her, knowing I won't catch her, but not caring. Even if there's no chance of catching her, I'll still run after her. Emmy's waiting for me at the door as I arrive. Well, look who's finally shown up! Yeah. Enjoy your victory while you can. Emmy grins as the nurse pokes his head out the door. Well, there you are. Come on in, Hisao. In what has become a familiar routine by now, he checks my blood pressure and my heart rate. A bit fast today, isn't it? Yeah, I kinda raced Emmy here. The nurse laughs. That's never a good idea. He leans in to whisper to me in a conspiratory manner. I don't know if you heard, but Emmy's a bit of a track star. I reel back in a mock surprise. Really? She never mentioned it before. The two of us share a laugh. Did she do okay today? Cold seem to bother her? Why don't you ask her? He rolls his eyes in his aspiration. Of course I'm going to ask her too, but she'll tell me that she didn't have any problems regardless of whether or not she did. So I'm asking you because you're a friend and would probably tell me if she had trouble today. When he puts it that way, it makes a lot more sense. She seemed pretty good today, if a little more tired than usual. She was already feeling better when I dropped by yesterday, so I'm not that surprised. The nurse nods, though I notice he tenses slightly when I mention yesterday's visit. Well, that's good to hear. I figured it's just a 24-hour thing, and he tends to recover quickly from colds and the like. Hey, speaking of Emmy, is she and the track captain? Well, you know... A look of suspicion crosses his face. Why do you ask? Well, it's just that they seem kind of close, and I was just curious, you know? I never ask her because that would be kind of embarrassing. So far so good, now to really sell it. Besides, I think they'd make a cute couple. The nurse laughs. Well, I don't suppose you're the first to think that, but I think I could say with some certainty that the two of them will never do anything like that. Certainty? Yep. Not that I could tell you, of course. Confidentiality and all that. Yeah, you're just holding a secret over my head. That too. Right, get out of here. I'm a busy man, you know? They ain't dating! We have a chance, ladies and gentlemen. We have a chance. I roll my eyes at his last statement and head out the door, motioning to Emmy to go in. The whole time I'm trying to keep from doing my celebratory dance. The two of them will never do anything like that. That's precisely the sort of thing I wanted to hear. I'm half tempted to make some sort of move on Emmy right now, but I think that nurse would probably disapprove. Besides, I still don't know exactly how Emmy feels about me. I mean, it's obvious that she cares about me as a friend, but something more than that. I can't be certain. Even so, I can't help but feel hopeful. I just need to figure out a good time to tell Emmy exactly how I feel. That puzzle should keep me occupied for the rest of the day, at least. The rooftop is completely deserted. Normally I could count on Rin to be up here before me, but she's strangely absent. I wonder if she's decided to accompany Emmy to the cafeteria for once. That seems pretty unlikely, but it's all I can think of right now. Part of me wants to go look for Rin, but a far larger part of me is too pleased with the way the sun feels on my skin to care. Stop tap dancing. True, Travis. I pick idly at my lunch while I wait for Emmy and Rin to show up. It does not take long for me to hear the sounds of someone coming up the stairs. I wait until the door begins to open before talking. It's Shizune and Misha calling it. Took you long enough, keeping me waiting for you, honestly. The two of you are, huh? Well, that's odd. The only person standing in the doorway is Emmy, who looks mildly confused. What do you mean, huh? It's me, you know, Emmy. We run in the mornings? She grins and I feel my heart jump slightly in my chest at the sight. Yeah, I knew that. I'm just confused. Where's Rin? Emmy's grin is replaced by a rather guilty-looking expression. Yeah, about that. I'm kinda, sort of... Give her my cold. You got Rin sick? Yo, Remy. Perfect. Oh dear. Am I at risk too? It would make sense after all. Emmy and I were close contact the other day. So what did she and Rin do that got her ill? Steady on, old lad. Don't go down that road. It's been forever since I've heard about We Like to Pray. Or We Like to Pray. Rin's just probably got a worse immune system than me. Emmy seemed shocked by my comment, like she hadn't considered that before. I hope not. I'd feel terrible if if you get ill because of me, Hisao. Oh man, I think I feel a fever coming on. Emmy looks horrified, then quickly shifts into a more angry expression. Hisao! Stop getting sick this instant. I won't have it. Impulsively, she seizes me by the collar. Are you listening to me, Hisao's immune system? Get your ass in gear. I give a smart salute. Duly noted, ma'am. Emmy steps back and nods, satisfied. Good. You are not allowed to miss any of our morning runs, after all. But you missed a morning run. Emmy crosses her arms and looks at me haughtily. Yeah, but this is a special case. It was me, not you. That's not an explanation at all. Emmy looks flabbergasted. You're kidding, right? That explanation makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't. It's a blatant double standard. I don't see what this has to do with anything. Oh, fine. Emmy seems pleased by her victory. Anyway, is Rin going to be okay? She's not terribly ill, right? Emmy shakes her head. Nope, she'll be fine. I got her some cold medicine that should help her. Although I probably should have made sure she didn't try to take them all at once. She's done it before, you know. Somehow I don't find that all surprising. I doubt Rin is one to pay attention to maximum dosages and such. You should probably check on her later then, just to make sure. Emmy shrugs. I'll stop by after practice. She'll be fine until then. I nod, figuring that line of conversation is over. The only problem is I don't know what else to talk about. So, you got any more track meets coming up? This is a terribly roundabout way of trying to see if she's free on the weekend. If she's free, then maybe I can ask her on a date or something. Well, assuming I can get myself to actually form the words. Emmy shakes her head. Nah, not for another couple weeks, I think. The season's winding down. Oh yeah, I came in right in the middle of things, didn't I? Does that mean exams are coming up soon? I should probably look into that. What do you do on the weekends if there's not a meet? An eyebrow goes up and Emmy gives a teasing look on her face. You're awfully inquisitive today, aren't you? I shrug and hope it looks casual. Just making conversation. I don't know what it's like to be a track star after all. Flattery. She waves a hand idly. I'm not actually that good, you know. You just so happen to see me on a good day is all. You liar. Heh, yeah. But humility is a sign of a good athlete. At least that's what my dad used to say. She shrugs and tries unsuccessfully to hide the rather troubled expression her face has taken on. Hey, what's up? You seem bothered by something. Emmy starts to deny it, then sighs in defeat. I wonder if she's too tired from being sick to get herself to deny it like the usual. Or if she actually just trusts me enough at this point to open up. Well, you remember last night? Do I ever? I settle the nodding. For nodding, however. That's not the first time that's happened to me. Actually, I get them kind of... She pauses as if it suddenly occurred to her what she's doing. It's almost like she's breaking some sort of personal rule here. But she starts up again, choosing her words carefully. Well, not often, but... on occasion. It's just been one of those weeks where this is what happens. A sigh escapes her and she looks terribly frustrated. I reach over and give her a hug, which unlike last time, she doesn't seem to shock her. Instead, she seems to relax as my arms wrap around her. We stay that way for a while. Hey, you know, I was serious last night. You really can talk to me if stuff like this is bothering you. It's always difficult to do that sort of thing solo, you know? Emmy smiles and breaks the embrace, but stays leaning on my shoulder. Thanks, Hisao. I'll be fine, I think. I could already see her reassembling herself, getting ready to bottle it all up again. Guess this topic's closed now. So hey, given any more thought to that career survey? Can't say I have. I don't tend to plan very far ahead, you know. Although I suppose I could start at least looking into college, huh? I shrug. I suppose, unless you were serious about that pirate thing. Last I checked, pirates didn't have much need for universities. Unless there's like a pirate university out there somewhere. Emmy giggles and starts to look a little like her old self, but there's a new element to her expression. Impish. That's how I'd describe it. Emmy looks impish, looking up at me with her head nestled to my shoulder. Would you come with me if I ran off to be a pirate? Of course I would. Who in the right mind would pass up the opportunity to be pirates with you? Well, when you put it that way, I'm not sure. She giggles again. I notice that my heart seems to have sped up. It's probably due to Emmy's proximity to me. That hint of strawberries again. I can't help but grin as I gaze down at her. She's happy again. Hey, Hisao? If you're going to kiss me, you should probably do it soon. I think the lunch bell is about to ring.
Second base! Second base! Second base, let's go! Please. Please don't fuck this up. 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 Please don't fuck this up! My thoughts grind to a sudden halt. I'm pretty sure my mouth is hanging open in shock. All I can manage is a strangled huh? This amuses Emmy even more. You were thinking about it, weren't you? She sits up, bringing her face level with mine. I'd probably enjoy it, you know? You're really... Well... She briefly composes herself, looks like she's about to say something important. If you hadn't figured it out by now, I think I've developed a bit of a crush on you. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We doing good! We doing good! This is the farthest I've ever gotten with anybody. This works! You're going to have to do something about that. This time her grin short-circuits several important thought processes. At some point I turned toward her, and at another point her arms moved to around my neck. And yet another, my arms wrapped around her waist. I'll be damned if I could tell precisely when that happened. But at that moment, there's only a voice in the back of my head yelling at me to kiss her. I look into Emmy's eyes. There it is. The thing I saw yesterday on the bed. It's there again. It suddenly strikes me that she's worried that I'll reject her. What a silly worry for her to have. We did it! Her lips taste faintly of strawberries. She leans into the kiss, her arms tightening around the back of my head, making sure that I don't pull away. Not that there was any danger of that. There's a churning feeling in my gut. The words falls away. There's just me and her on this bench. My arms tighten, drawing her waist closer, entranced by the feeling of her. I inhale her scent, my mind trying desperately to memorize everything about how she tastes, how she smells, how she feels. The ringing of the bell snaps us both back to reality, and we break the kiss. Emmy's cheeks are slightly flushed, and she seems to be catching her breath in her defense. So am I. We stand there for a few moments, trying to wrap our heads around what we've just done. Emmy is the first to break the silence. So... Okay. Want to grab dinner after I'm done with practice? What a coincidence. I was about to ask you the same thing. Well, actually, I was supposed to suppose it was going to be some kind of proper date on the weekend or something, but the thought was there, I think. Emmy gives me a playful shove. Yeah, right. You were still in shock from how incredibly awesome I am at kissing. We begin to head down the stairs back to our respective classrooms. Hey, I didn't see you talking immediately afterward either. That I didn't. See you after practice, Hisao. She leans in quickly and gives me a quick kiss in the middle of the hallway, sending me into another brief state of mental freefall. As I head into my classroom, a giggling Misha greets me. Why, Hee-chan, you romantic you! Did you confess at the rooftop, did you? Or actually, I think it was the other way around. This sends Misha into a fresh fit of laughter. Young love is so unpredictable, isn't it? This being Misha, I suppose I should have expected her to tease me over this. I guess. Before I could really respond, Muto's entered the room and Misha skips off to her seat, giggling all the while. I suspect that I'll get a lot of that sort of conversation now, especially seeing as how Emmy kissed me right in the middle of the hall. But somehow I don't care about that. For the first time since arriving here, my heart feels light. Act 3, Perspective. Cool. Alright, Travis, I will honor what you have asked to see Emmy. And then as soon as we see Emmy, we're done. My head's in a spin after all through Muto's class. I'm going to have dinner with Emmy.
He wants to be my girlfriend, no less. A date. And then she kissed me. That kiss, I keep going back to it, playing it over in my mind again and again. Everything about that moment felt so right. My mind drifts off, lost in thoughts of Emmy. Nakai, hello. Seems like I've drifted a bit too far. Huh, what? Egad, you've contracted some kind of amnesia. Someone go and get the nurse. The class chuckles at Muto's antics. Sorry, sir. Won't happen again and all that, right? Exactly. Muto brightens considerably. Well, lovely to hear. I'd hate to have my star pupil slacking off after all. I've been doing well, but I hardly qualify as star pupil, I think. I'm fairly certain that this class is the sort that everyone does well in, just memorizing formulas. True to my word, I managed to pay attention for the rest of class. Nakai, may I have a word with you? I wonder if I'm in trouble for earlier. Sure. Am I in trouble? Muto looks genuinely confused for a moment. Beg your pardon? He tilts his head to one side and thinks for a moment. Oh, that. No, you're not in any sort of trouble. There's just a question I want to ask you. What's that? Nothing terrible. I was just wondering what your plans for after graduation are. Are you going to university? Yeah, I guess. I can't really see a reason not to go. Given any thought to what you'll study? No, not really, no. I'll figure I'll come up with something when I get there. Muto laughs. Taking things as they come, eh? I argue against that, but that's how I did things when I went to university. Well, not really. I knew I'd go into science, I just wasn't sure which one. Ended up with physics, but could have just as well have gone for astronomy or what have you. Actually, I did go for chemistry for a bit, but there were all sorts of things. Muto trails off and frowns slightly. It takes a minute for him to recover his train of thought, and I wait patiently for him to continue. Same way, I did a lot of physics as well, but I had an interest in that, but I wasn't sure it was for me. So I went back to chemistry, and here we are, yes? He smiles at me enthusiastically as if waiting for me to confirm that yes, here is where we are. Somehow I get the feeling that Muto had a plan for this conversation, but I'll be damned if I can figure it out. I'm sorry, I'm not following you. Muto frowns and rubs his chin a bit, looking perplexed. He then snaps his fingers as if he remembered what the point of all of this was. Right, yes, you! Me? Yes, you should be looking to studying one of those sciences. You're fantastic at it. Or you'd rather just go into math. Muto makes a sour face. Not a big fan of straight math. I always like the experiments more than the proofs. You're saying I should study science at the university? Muto seems thrown off balance by my question. Well, sort of. You could also join the science club. Trouble is, there's not actually a science club. But there could be. You could even be a charter member. A founding father. Of course, you need to find other members. Well, only if you wanted to. We could just start it up, just the two of us. And, I could give you the things to read, and we could talk about them. Or I could help you get ready for university and such as well. Muto really wants science, and Muto is lonely AF. Jesus. Wait. Muto rummages around in his briefcase and tosses me a book. Read that. If it's interesting, then we can talk about it. A Brief History of Time? I don't know if I actually want to read this, but Muto seems pretty excited about it. What's it about? Time, space, space-time, black holes and such. And it's not that dense, just to see if it's that sort of thing that's interesting for you, you understand? Hang around after class and we could either discuss it, or I could show you how to make explosives in the lab. Well, that's interesting. And true, Travis. Very true. He waves a hand at my quizzical expression. Joking, sorry. Still, I've kept you here long enough for now. Think about science as a career path, Nakai. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, I will. Thank you for the book. I leave the classroom and look up at the clock. Quite a chunk of time to kill until Emmy's out of practice. Guess I'll give this book a look. I should probably shower as well. Showering before a date's only proper, right? I head back to the dorms. I wonder where I'm supposed to meet Emmy anyway. She said after practice, but she didn't say where I should find her. I guess I could just swing by the track. That's probably best anyway. If she needs a shower, I could wait for her in her room or something. Or in the hallway, I guess. That would be better as well. I take a quick shower, remembering to take my medication once I hop out. Now for a look at this book. I wake with a start. Shit, what time is it? A glance at the clock reveals that I've been asleep for nearly an hour. Thank goodness. Emmy's practice should be finishing up soon. Hold on. Okay. Emmy's practice should be finishing up soon. I throw on some casual clothes and head for the track. Somehow I get the feeling we won't be doing anything fancy for dinner. Emmy doesn't strike me as a very fancy sort of person. Still, I suppose there's a lot I have left yet to know about Emmy. Despite our newfound closeness, I still feel like I don't know her as well as I should. Ah well, I have lots of time to fix that. To be honest, I'm looking forward to getting to know her more. I'm so caught up in my own thoughts that I'm hardly registered that I'm already at the track. Emmy is nowhere to be found. I don't even see any signs of the track team. This could be embarrassing. I turn to head toward the girls' dormitory when I hear a shout. Hey, Hisao! I understand everything. She's wearing different clothes. We've upgraded from school clothes to regular clothes. Let's go. We've upgraded. We've upgraded from school Emmy to girlfriend Emmy. Let's go. Product sprites. Gotcha. So adorable. All right, that makes sense. Cool. We'll save. Create new save state. To the main menu we go. Sweet. Pretty good, pretty good. Is it 6 o'clock already? Jesus Christ. I haven't eaten anything all day yet today either. So, that's going to be it for Katawa Shoujo for today. So similar to what I said with 428 Shibuya Scramble, I do want to get through at least all of Emmy's stuff. Yes, I do. I do... Oh my gosh, I can't think. What am I saying? I do want to get through all of the endings. I want to say there's 3. There's a bad, there's a neutral, and there's a true ending for Emmy, I think, is what I was told or alluded to. I'm not sure. But I want to get all of those before we kind of take a break from it, before we get to it. There's 2 for Emmy. Okay, there's 2. So we're going to get both of them. And then, like I said, Katawa Shoujo will go on a bit of a hiatus. I'm trying to get Katawa Shoujo and 428 Shibuya Scramble done pretty much at the same times. So you guys will actually be seeing this game again on Monday. Tuesday for Travis. And hopefully I can get through Act 3. I think there's 4 acts, if I recall. So we should be able to get through Act 3 by the end of Monday. And then hopefully we can get through Act 4 a little bit later down the line. I'm trying to get through these 2 games pretty quickly, but efficiently, of course, as usual. So that way, once beginning of March happens and we play our first new game of March, we should be good. There that you can get, though. I can help you out. Super easy and skip feature will help a lot. Okay, that works, Travis. That works. But with that, that's going to be it, though, for Katawa Shoujo. We do have one more stream happening tonight. It's going to be happening later tonight, 10 or 11. It's going to be Dead by Daylight because I still have a bunch of Rift stuff I have to do. And then also, I should mention, I'm trying really hard to get the editing for the video, for highlights done. There's a lot of subtitles, and it's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. And it's kind of exhausting me, because it has to be so particular and so right. So, I'm hoping I can get that out by tonight or tomorrow. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but it definitely is taking a lot more time than I thought. I feel really bad because I know some people really, really like the highlights. So, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed and have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, night, or evening. My name's Katathi. I'll see you guys next time from Ready Gaming. See you guys later. Peace. Bye, everyone.